DJMK here, and welcome to part 2 of the Nanoka special. Last episode we covered the Puella Magi Madoka Magica spin-off game and special Magia record. If you want to check that out, please feel free to check out the previous video. Whoops, wrong video. Wrong window. There we go. So this time we are continuing on with Cinderella Phenomenon. Now, for those who are new to my specials, today is our first part, the first of two Nanoka specials. Reason why I call them Nanoka specials is because, well, this is redundant. 今日は日が、2月7日です。から。So February 7th and August 7th are two of the biggest days of my universe because February 7th is basically the birthday of this channel. The birthday just in general of the entire concept of this channel, of this experience. And then 8月7日, August 7th, is my actual birthday. So February 7th is the channel's birthday, and as well as my half birthday, and August 7th is my actual birthday, and so I play games on both of those instances, and it tends to be different every time. Last year, I believe, I think I did like a marathon of Cinderella Phenomenon, that or it was Crouching Tiger, but I did like a variety of games that day. You can check out all my previous specials on in YouTube if you want to watch them again. I think it was Prince of Persia that I did last year, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna have to look back on those videos. But yeah, this time I'm just gonna be continuing for my first one. It's a biannual thing, so there's two of them. So this is the first one of the year. So this time I'm just gonna be continuing on with sort of Cinderella Phenomenon because I have not touched that game in about 2 weeks. So yeah, hard to believe that that live stream was 2 weeks ago. So we're going to be continuing on with that game because in the last episode we were going more into Karma's backstory. It turns out that the name Karma was an acronym. So yeah, surprise, surprise. And you guys as well, there is also going to be a sequel to the game. Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore, and the reason why it is taking a while for the game creators to finish the game is not only because of some behind the scenes production issues, but also they also were being very ambitious in this project because Evermore is going to include animated, the love interests are going to be animated in the respective stories, with blinking and speech patterns and everything. So that's pretty ambitious. So of course it's going to take a little longer, but they are slating the release to be sometime this year. So as soon as that comes out, I am definitely going to be playing it for you. So, because I enjoy playing his character so much. So I feel like out of all the routes that I've played so far, I feel like with Karma, I think it's Karma? Yeah, it's Karma. I feel like with Karma, I am the closest one actually to get the good ending. To be honest, I don't know if it's just like, if you get one thing wrong, then the entire thing gets screwed up, or it's just like you get like a certain number and it goes wrong. I have a feeling it's just like if you get one thing wrong, then it gets screwed up. So I'm probably gonna do like a counter at the end of this series to see how many things I got wrong. Excuse me. To see how many things I got wrong, and see if one thing throws it off or it's a certain number. For those who actually played the game before, feel free to talk about it down below without spoilers. If it takes one thing to mess it up, or it could take several plays to mess it up. But anyway, without further ado, here is a continuation of Karma, aka Claude's story. Because it turns out Karma is an acronym, and his first name is Claude. So, here we go. So, this is the part that I had the trickiest time with. So, essentially, Garland has feelings for Jurian. Garland and Jurian were both guards for the royal family, but then Garland and Jurian they founded a conspiracy with Fritz's dad, and so because I think it's Alcaster, yeah, Alcaster. So as a result of that discovery, they got let go from the guard. So they act as guards instead for the people of the Marchen, those who have been affected by the fairy tale curses. So, Garland has pretty obvious feelings for Jurian, but just has not had the courage to express them. And Claude has basically been able to use that as a weakness against him because he just hasn't been able to say a word about it. And so the biggest thing that I'm having trouble with is, do I press Garland to confess his feelings, or just let it go? And this is the trickiest part, because I, at this point, have played Lucette 3 times. And Lucette is a very private individual, so the probability is pretty good that she might go with it's nothing. But then, at the same time, though, she's very, very blunt with her feelings. So she might lean towards more, you have to tell her, because him not telling her is getting in the way of his effectiveness in combat. So, that's the tricky part. So I put a poll down below, in Twitch at least, to tell you, to tell me which decision do you think you would have personally gone with, as well as some games that you want me to do in the future. So I did save it the spot, thankfully, so I can go back and redo it if I wanted to. I'm gonna take the leap of faith and say, you gotta tell her. Because at this point, I feel like the rapport, between Garland, Jurian, Claude, and Lucette is pretty good enough that I think she can be blunt with Garland. So I think she should go ahead and say, tell her. Claude told me before that confessing is hard, but what Garland is going through looks even harder. Princess, you know I'm incapable. No, you think you're incapable. But if you never say anything to her, you'll never know. If I say something wrong, I risk losing everything that I already have with her. And if you say nothing, you risk losing what you could have with her. Lucette is right. Maybe you should really tell her, Garland. But before, Claude was adamant that Garland shouldn't confess to Jurian. What changed? If I mess this up... Let's try looking at it through another lens. Imagine if Jurian is Lucette. How do you think she would like to be confessed to? Darn it, Clock! Why do you have to be such an obstructive presence? I will text while this is happening. I like this Quack, but voice acting wise, it just gets in the way. Also, the reason why I'm not exactly in my own space right now is because I'm doing like a big overhaul in my room, so yeah. Otherwise, I would be upstairs, but I'm not. Mm. 」 « « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « Okay. Well, also, it's Cinderella Phenomenon. It's too fitting, actually. Let's try looking at this through another lens. Imagine that Jurian is Lucette. How do you think she would like to be confessed to? I frowned at the two men, arms crossed. Excuse me? Well, you and Jurian are very similar. You're both very straightforward. Confess to the princess? My eyes moved to Claude, but only fleetingly before they are once again on Garland. You just need to do something simple, Garland. Something that will not rub her the wrong way. A maiden's heart is ever fragile, and each woman is different. Claude is wearing an amused smile on his face, but he's looking at me, not Garland. I feel my face flush and I have to look away. Lucette, you're tomato red again. It's adorable. I think out of all of them, I feel like Claude has way more chemistry compared to Chevalier. Rod has some chemistry too, but I mean, I feel like out of all of them, I think Claude has the deeper chemistry. But of course, maybe Fritz and Waltz will have even deeper, because like they're recommended as being the last ones on the track. I think with Fritz being the next to last and Waltz being the very last one, because he has the most direct connection to Lucette. Through her mom, anyway. So, I crossed my arms over my rapidly beating heart again and forced a scowl on my face. No, I was just thinking about what Garland could do. Something simple, like when Karma kissed my hand, Garland kissing Jurian's hand is probably not a good idea. Maybe he could do what Claude and I did that one day in town. He could buy her some food and they can just talk. Garland, have you ever just asked Jurian out for food? Not alone. Jurian is practical and she always eats in the tavern. She's also always on duty if she's available. I'll take your patrol shift 2 nights from now then, and tomorrow you can ask her out for a meal. We can make your invite a grand affair. We can drape banners on the walls, or I can give you a rose. That side-eye says it all. That sounds like a terrible idea. I am offended. Well, in this case, some people are just turned off by flamboyant gestures, and unfortunately, I mean, unless you do it super duper well, I'm the exact same way. Like, simple is often better. Like, unless you can execute it perfectly, like that movie theater proposal that I came across one time, or that video game proposal, it's not worth your time doing it. Just keep it simple. Elegant and simple. I feel like if I did something like that for Jurian, she would get embarrassed and punch me. Sounds like another lady that I know. Claude grins at me, but I just roll my eyes. Garland, just ask her normally, and then when you're out and alone together, you can confess. And we'll make sure you have the time to do it. I'll purposely come late to practice tomorrow tonight so you can ask her out for that date. How does that sound? You two really think I could do this? You just have to ask the question. Whatever follows will at least be an answer. Tomorrow night, then. Good man. I'm sure it will go swimmingly. Or I could drown. You won't drown, Garland. Garland excuses himself with a nervous smile before Claude turns to me and expectantly with a mischievous grin. Now we've set. We'll come here early tomorrow and spy on them. Need to scope out a good spot. I'm excited, actually. Friends helping friends set up. I love it. Spy on them? Of course. We need to make sure that our efforts pay off. I don't think we should. You don't want to see how it plays out? I mutely shake my head, unable to put my emotions into words. For some reason, I'm imagining myself in Jurian's position. It feels too personal. Claude's likeliness suddenly springs to mind, and I feel my face grow hot again. Lucette, you've been oddly out of it today. Claude reaches... Ooh, shoot. Sorry. Whoops. Claude reaches out a hand toward me that abruptly pulls away. I stare at him as he smiles at me, almost sheepishly. The conversation between us dies, and we return to the margin. Days passed, and though I did not spy on the conversation between Jurian and Garland, I noticed that Garland has been smiling from ear to ear during his practice with Claude recently. So it actually worked, yes! I can only assume this confession went well. Claude took the patrol shift tonight, and as I lie in bed, I am restless. Every time I watch Claude practice with Jurian and Garland, I'm reminded of the palace, of Fritz. I wonder how Fritz is doing. Is he still practicing with the other knights? My thoughts darken as I recall the kidnappings. Claude had to save me every single time. He got injured saving me. Unable to sleep, I slip out of bed and make my way to the reception room. The night air was cool, and no one stops me from standing just outside the margin. I can't just sit back and do nothing anymore. I have to act. I don't want to get Claude to get hurt because of me again. Eventually, I see Claude approach. He looks tired and is moving more slowly than usual. When he sees me, his lips quirk into a smile. Lucette, what are you doing out here tonight, love? Love instead of darling. That's new. Hello, Claude. His face is dark red again. If you're using a real name, I suppose you come to ask for something serious? How could he know that? I do need to ask something of you. Well, if you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm right here, love. What? Oh, this is not about... Never mind. I'm asking if you would be my instructor. For some reason, I seem to have caught Claude off guard. He stares at me for a few moments. Oops. What? I want to learn how to use the sword, and I want you to be my instructor. Claude's expression becomes uncharacteristically serious. I'd rather you didn't learn how to use the sword. I don't want you to have to keep protecting me. I don't mind protecting you. I do. Claude sighs and shakes his head. Princesses shouldn't be using swords. I want to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. You are. I don't want you to get hurt again when I could do something about it. Teach me, please. Claude? Once again, he flushes. It seems to be an instant reaction, and it's both amusing and endearing. It won't be easy. I wasn't expecting it to be. Claude stares at me for a long time before finally letting out a heavy sigh. Fine. I'll train you. You won't learn in a day, but I can teach you the essentials. You can use one of the knight's training swords. Thank you. Music to my ears. Meet me in the clearing in 10 minutes. 10 minutes? What? You said you wanted to train, so we will. Don't expect me to go easy on you. But aren't you tired? He looked exhausted when he came in, and now he wants to train? Already trying to get out of training? I am not. Claude shakes his head, but he's smiling. I'll see you there in a few minutes, love. Moonlight spills through the leaves, illuminating the forest with gentle light. Long minutes pass, and as I stand in the clearing, I begin to feel restless. It isn't like Claude to be late. Is he tending to his injury? I hear a rustling in the leaves and turn immediately to see what the disturbance is, but the minute I do, I'm pulled back by a strong force and the world goes dark. Before I could scream, I hear a gentle voice in my ears. Lesson 1, Lucette. When apprehended by an enemy that you can't see, remain calm and use your fine senses to judge how best to get the upper hand. This voice is coming from right behind me. Claude? I become aware that this is the closest he's ever been to me, with my back pressed to his chest like this. Panicking disorients the mind. This is why you must remain cool under any circumstance. How could I not panic? Any normal person would panic. Still, I try to force myself to be calm. Lesson 2. Enemies will often let down their guards when they think they have the upper hand. Catch your opponent off guard by remaining calm and locating this weakness with your senses. I try to calm myself as Claude instructs, and I feel it is a bit easier, but only because I know it is Claude. An opening. I move as quickly as I can, stepping forward so I can swing an elbow back at Claude's stomach. Before that happens, Claude has pulled me back to him, closing whatever distance I had put between us. In the process, he moves his hand from my eyes to my mouth. I can once again see the forest, but my words are muffled beneath his hand. Another thing to remember, you won't always be able to catch your enemy off guard by throwing punches or hits at them. Your opponent will usually always be stronger than you, Lucette. Remember what I said about a weakness? Enemies will often let their guards down when they believe they are winning. Just like I have. An opening? A thought occurs to me as I glance around me and then down at Karma's bandaged hand. Karma's bandaged hand is over my mouth. Is this an opportunity or a trick? What would you do, Princess? What kind of tactic would remove you from my grasp? Since this is its injured hand, biting it would make it more painful. So it's common sense, I think. I'm going to feel terrible about this, but I have to try. I try to shift my head to get a space to bite down. Even Claude cannot hold me completely still as I squirm. Eventually, the hand over my mouth moves just enough for me to open my mouth, but I falter. I cannot bite the hand that I injured. I'm unable to do anything else. I immediately shake my head and hear Claude groan. In one swift motion, he pushes me down to the ground, pinning my hands up by my head as he frowns at me. You're not even going to try and find an opening? I glare at him. I'm not going to bite your hand. Bite my hand? I didn't even think of that. But you made it obvious. You put your hand over my mouth. I meant for you to try moving my hand. Pushing back a person's thumb usually causes their grip to loosen. How was I supposed to know that? Experience is the best means of practice, as they say. I have a complaint about that particular lesson, but I withhold it. That was a pretty good attempt, my love. But not good enough, I'm afraid. Shoot, did I pick the wrong thing? Because if I didn't even think about it, that means I picked the wrong thing. So, most of it I got the wrong end. I definitely got the wrong end. Oh well. I wasn't expecting you to come at me like that. I was expecting sword practice. You weren't expecting a man to kidnap you in the alleyway, were you? I glare up at him, unable to say anything because he's right. You're oddly quiet. It's hard to find an opening to hurt you when you're not really my enemy. He does not move, but continues to stare at me. His face is close to mine. Close enough to what exactly? Lucette, do you trust me to protect you? That's not the point. I need to be able to protect myself. Because you're planning to investigate the witches on your own? No, I want to be able to protect myself because I don't want you getting hurt protecting me. Luzette's been through some stuff. Dang. Claude leans down and I can feel his hair at my cheek. For a few moments, everything slows to a stop and all I can hear is my heartbeat and his slow breathing. Once you set your mind to something, you don't let go, do you? Claude pulls away from me before I can respond. He's standing again, offering me a hand. Let's get started with some sword work then. A pleasant smile was back on his face. I can never tell what he's thinking at times like these. What you're really like? Claude. Chapter 7. Thorny Rose. I think it's 8 chapters per person. When I returned to the margin later that night, my hands are scratched and I think I might have bruises on my arms. Claude was not joking when he said he would not go easy on me. But he did compliment me more than once. Said, I've hit you quite a few times and you haven't uttered a single complaint. Impressive. Crying is for the weak. Though everyone should be sleeping, notice that the light is still on at the tavern. I see Jurian and Garland up and at a table, speaking with each other and laughing. If Claude had come back with me, he would be happy to see this. You two are still up? They're not even surprised when they turn to face me. Good days like this are even better when stretched. I haven't been off duty in a long time. Did you both have a good time tonight? It was great. Carlin knows these little places in the town that I've never even heard of before. I know that Jurian is more energetic than usual, her smile a little wider than normal. I wonder if she's drunk. I'm going to get another drink. There's your answer! Another drink? Garland leans in towards me, his voice hushed. I ready to buy a replacement bottle when we were out today. We never take anything in the margin without money. Right. Is Jurian drunk? Oh no, Princess. Tipsy. It's like a buzz. Fades a lot quicker. Oh. Garland and I watch Jurian as she refills her glass at the bar. I have to thank you, Princess. I never would have asked her out if you and Karma hadn't insisted on it. So you told her? Garland looks at me with a pleased smile. I love this! I love this! I am so glad I insisted. I think that's the right path, but I think I picked the wrong I'll take that as a yes. She didn't really realize until much later. I just asked her out for food and she thought that was all it was. Maybe Jurian really did need to be told bluntly. What happened? I, told her? And? We talked and remembered old times. He sounds like an old man. And I held her hand. I noticed Garland flinch ever so slightly, but he is smiling. Looks pleased with himself. And the night's not over yet, so... He trails off with a hopeful smile before he raises his eyebrows at me. Excuse me. I will drink to that. Also, when I'm drinking a malt soda. It is great. I recommend it. It's called Malta. Fellow Africans, you probably know what I'm talking about. Does it know what you're talking about? It's basically like a malt sweet beverage. It's non-alcoholic. There's one that's made by Guinness, but I prefer the Goya version of it because that's what I grew up with. You can buy it like at any grocery store. It's pretty nice. It kind of looks like beer even though it's not beer. I like Malta. For some reason, I just can't get into beer. It's interesting. What about you and Karma? What about us? I asked him to train me. Train? Princess, you've asked him to teach you how to use a sword? What's this? A princess is going to pick up a sword? Jurian returns to the table, but I'm too tired to properly join in the conversation. I should leave them to their conversation and head to bed. I need to get some rest if I want to start practicing at night. I excuse myself to head upstairs. I am startled awake by an excruciatingly bright light. It is momentary, and when it is over, I'm sitting in my bed, dazed and confused. My eyes burn. My hand flies to the pendant around my neck, where I see the second glass slipper with another piece. Oh my god! Good deed number 2! Just one more. One more. There's another piece. But when did I do another good deed? I grasp the necklace tightly in my hand as I'm making my way into the tavern. Everyone is doing their pre-morning chores when I get to the tavern area. I notice Karma glaring off into space. It wasn't Karma, it was Quad. And it was... Yeah, it was Karma! Why is she also between Quad and Karma? Pick one. Anyway. They haven't been up all night, have they? I make my way slowly over to them. Even back then you were some kind of shadow, weren't you? Good lord! You don't have to hide it. It was obvious you were telling me back then. It was only because I was worried about you. I realized really didn't have to follow me, Lan, but I'm glad you did. Lan? Jurian. Oh, shush. Friends used to call you that, too. Lan is Garland's childhood nickname. He still gets embarrassed when I call him that. I see. So, what are you talking about? Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm intruding. Oh, we were just reminiscing. I look at the two of them critically for a few moments, waiting for them to say something. They both exchange a glance before looking at me confused. Well? Well, what? How did your date go last night? Garland makes a sound and turns beet red. Jurian's eyebrows quirk and then she laughs. Oh, that! It went well. So well, in fact, that you can see that the two of us are still very much enjoying each other's company. Jurian is usually busy taking her rounds around the margin with a scowl on her face. Ooh, whoa, I didn't mean to do that. She looks happier being here with Garland. More relaxed. You might even say that we're dating. Oh my god! This is too adorable. This is too adorable. Oh my god. Isn't it funny how red he gets, Princess? You were blushing just as much yesterday when I... One more word, Lynn, and I'll swear I'll punch you. The two of them are both blushing now, and the scene is oddly comical. Who knew that the two great knights of the Order of Caldera could be so easily undone? Both of you are amusing to watch. Two of them stare at me, suddenly solemn-faced. I suddenly remember that one conversation the knights all had at the castle. That they were talking about how they all had personal reasons for being knights, despite the fact that they all served the king. I always thought that Jurian and Garland were stoic and honorable, that their only reason for becoming knights was a sense of justice. Seeing them here, though, without that stoic facade, they feel more like people. My curiosity is piqued. Do you mind if I ask what your reasons were for becoming knights? Oh, my father was a knight. He put his life on the line for this kingdom. Jurian's father was a living legend in his own right, and he had medals to back it up. My father wasn't around a lot, but I always admired him. Judging by the look on Jurian's face, it is clear to me that she loves her father. My mother died when I was young, and because my father couldn't be around all the time to take care of me, I ended up practically living with Lan and his family. Lan always got annoyed when I called him my brother. Now I know why. Jurian wanted to follow in her father's footsteps. Then, why did you join the Knights, Garland? Because he wanted to watch over me. I never knew you blushed so easily, Garland. Garland seemed to blush even harder with that, and Jurian's laughter becomes infectious. I feel amusement begin to bubble up as I watch the two of them. But a cold voice cuts through the laughter and the atmosphere like a hot blade through ice. Could you keep it down over there? I turn and see that Claude's eyes, normally so warm, are cold. His usual smile is gone, replaced with a deep scowl. Oh, we're sorry. He's still glaring at the two of them. Oh, I can tell him about the necklace. Well, Karma, I got her the piece to my necklace. Another good deed. Claude turns his gaze to me, but the frown doesn't disappear. That's nice, darling. His voice is calm, but flat and lacks any enthusiasm. That felt lackluster, and oddly disappointing. A good deed? Congratulations, Princess. You're close to breaking your curse. What did you get the good deed for? I'm not sure, actually. Maybe it was for helping Lan confess? I hear you and Karma went out of your way to help make it happen. That happened yesterday, though. Maybe the Wagic was waiting to see what became of Garland and I? Claude makes a dismissive. Oh. Okay. Claude makes a dismissive hand gesture from his table, frowning. If you two insist on being so affectionate, you should get a room. Affectionate? Jurian's smile faded away into a dangerous scowl. Where Garland looks confused, Jurian looks noticeably irritated. The shadow is still there on his face. Claude does not look okay at all. This is getting hard! Oh my god. Because, like, on the one hand, you could come from, like, in this case, he's just really being out of his mind here. Like, why are you flipping out when this is what you wanted in the first place? Like, what the heck? I'd say scold him. Like, let him have it. It doesn't matter if something's bothering him. It isn't like him to be so rude. Irritation is no excuse for rudeness. Fine, I apologize. Happy? He looks at me for a few moments, his expression twists into a defiant scowl, but it doesn't hold long. Moments later, his expression softens and he looks away, almost in shame. I'm sorry. This apology sounds real. But still, why do I feel so disappointed? I definitely got the bad end, guys. Sorry. I felt like I was close, but I feel like I just didn't get it. Silence descends for a few moments before Claude abruptly stands up from his table. Excuse me. Claude turns briskly and heads upstairs, leaving me with the two knights. Yeah, what the heck was his problem? I wonder what's wrong with him. You think we were running him too thin because of the practice? I don't think it's you two. I get the feeling that Claude holds himself back from what he's saying, what he means sometimes. Sometimes he acts strange, distant. And recently, he's getting more and more moody. Princess? I look over at Anise, who is smiling apologetically. Sorry to interrupt, but Mr. Broom is kinda getting restless. Time to sweep, I suppose. Maybe cleaning will help get my mind off of things. The rest of the day goes by slowly. I'm stuck cleaning most of the day and then serving later. At one point, I speak with Delore about the knights that attempted to kidnap me, and she tells me that she and Parfait are meeting later to discuss their suspicions. I still don't understand what their suspicions are when Sir Alcaster can't possibly know who I am. My hands are sore by the end of the night, but I still feel like I can practice with a sword. I notice that both Jurian and Garland look restless too. Garland eventually leaves for patrol, while Jurian remains at a table, looking deep in thought. I don't want to bother her, so I decide to try and find Claude. I go to his room, but find that the door is locked. Karma? Are we training tonight? No answer. My heart sinks. Is he not speaking to me? Did I do something wrong? Now I wonder if I did something wrong too. For days, Claude stayed in his room, only leaving when he had to be on patrol. A few times I saw Parfait go into his room, but she refuses to talk about what's bothering him. I feel so useless. When Claude did appear in the tavern or out of town, he still had that terrible grimace on his face. Wait, is he running out of time? Because if you do remember the Beauty and the Beast tale, I don't know if it applies to, like, the fairy tale version, but I know this is the Disney Princess one. Like, there's a rose where if the rose runs out, then he stays a beast forever. So in this case, it's possible instead of, well, I mean, I think like the original was like this case it's covering Grimm. So theoretically, in the case of this version of the tale, if if there's a rose in there, since he has a rose tattoo, I bet like the rose tattoo completes in this case. I think that's it. Like he ceases to exist or something. Maybe. I don't know. Like I don't know what his version is. But it's probably something very tragic. Or he turns into a plant. But it looks like he's like running out of time. Look, I really don't want to talk right now. You'll be so frustrated with me, why not just ignore me? No, I'm not going to train tonight. I'm not in the right state of mind. I don't want to talk about it, just leave me alone. Please. I'm really beginning to worry about him. Today I'm in town running errands with Waltz for Parfait. It's been almost a week since Claude started acting so strangely, so I thought I needed to do something for him. I know he likes dresses and he told me once that he likes roses, but can I really find something that will cheer him up? Perhaps he would like some jewelry. Waltz, do you remember where the jewelry store Karma likes is? I don't go there very often, so unfortunately no. Princess, is this a good deed? What are you doing right now? Did you think it would be a good deed? Good deeds need to be selfless, right? Generally, yes. I doubt this would count as selfless. I'm doing this to cheer Karma up. It definitely counts, come on. That sounds pretty selfless. But it's also that so that he goes back to teaching me how to fight instead of sulking in his room. I've heard that Karma's been teaching you how to use a sword. Why do you want to learn how to fight? Because I want to be able to protect myself. It's not like I can use magic. At least sword fighting gives me an advantage. I'm sorry, Princess. I wish I could teach you magic, but it doesn't work when you're under a curse. But on your 18th birthday, when you become the Tenebrarum bearer, you will be able to use magic. I'll instruct you if you want me to. That would be nice. Though it does not solve my current problem. What would cheer Claude up? Walt starts chuckling beside me, and I turn to him confused. Karma is important to you, isn't he? He's my partner, and he's helped me. He was impatient with me, and smiled even when I said some really inconsiderate things to him. I'm glad, Princess. He's your friend. My friend. Claude does not feel like a friend. He feels like something else. Oh, Princess, is this the one you were searching for? Waltz points to a peddler wearing different kinds of jewelry, and I instantly make my way toward it. There are all kinds of glittering things displayed, and for a few moments I feel myself drawn to everything. Then I notice the price tags. I don't have any money left when the king gave me that pouch. I can't afford any of this. Maybe we should do our errands first and then look for a gift. Maybe you'll find something as we look through the stores. But if I don't get Claude's gift today, I may not be able to give him to it tonight. Princess? Oh God, why? I'm actually agonizing over my choices. To errand or to help a friend? That is the question. Because in my case, I would help a friend first. But for Lucettes' case, I don't know. Actually, I think she would think the same thing. Be persistent. Look for Karma's gift first. We need time to do it. I know the errands are important, but I really need to find Claude a gift. Is it so wrong to put him first? I should be able to find him something soon. Do you have something else in mind for him? No, but it shouldn't take too long to find him something. I'll follow your lead then, Princess. The two of us walk around for at least an hour searching for gifts, but nothing stands out to me. I slowly feel myself becoming frustrated knowing that I've wasted so much time. We haven't even done the errands yet. Waltz is right, we should have done the errands first. You know what? I'm going back to save point. I'm doing the errands first. No, do not overwrite save. Load. Okay. Whew. Yes. Let's do errands first. Waltz is a good point. We might find something while we do the errands and we can get them out of the way. Besides, it's not right for me to put Claude above everyone else. Oh shoot! That's a critical decision! We spent a few hours gathering the supplies we need for the tavern, and only then do we start looking again for Claude's gift. Princess, I can hold more of those bags for you. It's fine. I'm used to carrying lots of bags. Does Karma make you carry them around? Yep, it was right. It was a good thing I switched now. But I still got the bad end, though. Because I didn't defend myself by pushing away. But anyway. Does Karma make you carry them around? Princess, you should really tell him off. He does a lot of other things for me, but next time I think I will. As long as he gets out of his room sometime soon, I really hope he does. A princess? But now the problem is finding something you'll like. What does Claude like? Princess! There's no reason for you to shout. Walt shakes his head at me, but he's smiling. Let me offer you a deal. A deal? If you help me set up one of my puppet shows, I'll pay you. You earn money from your puppet shows? I get tipped, so what do you say? I won't go easy on you, though. Yes, I'll help you. What? You didn't think she'd actually do it. Why do you seem surprised? I was just thinking that everyone's right. You really changed, Princess. Maybe having Karma as a partner really was a good idea. Being partners with Claude may have changed me for the better, but I doubt I've done the same for him. I'm sure Karma would be very happy that you were buying him a gift. Receiving gifts from admirers isn't the same thing as you getting him something. He receives gifts from admirers? For a few moments, I think about the woman who chased us in the town a few weeks ago. I feel a little unpleasant stab in my heart. Small things. A man will treat him to dessert every so often. I saw a lot of it when we did errands together. I always make Karma accept those gifts without killing the man. Killing the man? It's dramatic, but it sounds like Karma. He punched Rumple when he asked him to marry him, joke or not. Karma has this disguise to be convincing, but then gets angry when people fall for it. He's still very much a child. You know how he is. He doesn't like being flirted with. Waltz, do you know anything else about Karma's curse? His curse? He never really talks about it. Claude may be more stubborn than me if he's not letting anyone help him with his curse. Waltz and I continue to search for our gift. Miles tells me that I can look for something a bit more expensive and that he'll just put me to work on another day by helping him with his puppets. I return to the jewelry peddler we found earlier. Hello, madam. Sir, what can I help you with today? Do you have any sort of rose-shaped jewelry here? The man refers me to a box full of many different rose-shaped earrings. He then shows me necklaces, and I realize belatedly, as if I am searching for something from Miss Karma, not Claude. My eyes scan the glass, nearly in defeat, before a little rose catches my attention in the back of the display window. It has a chain connected to it, but it doesn't seem long enough to be a necklace. What's that one? That's our simple rose pendant, madam. It comes with a chain, but it can also be pinned on the chest. The man takes it out of the display case so I can look at it. That's perfect, because as Miss Karma, Claude can use it as a necklace, and then when he's Karma again, he just pins it on. It's perfect. Oh yeah, that's perfect. This is fancy, but not completely flashy. I feel a little click as I press my fingers to the pendant, and I realize that it can also open. Oh yes, you can also put something small inside of it. This is perfect. I look at the price tag after making sure it's not too expensive. I pay the shopkeeper. Waltz pays him the additional fee, and then we walk back toward the March-In together. We return to the March-In. I go to my room to tuck the locket into a drawer before I head to the tavern to finish the rest of my chores. Just as I expected. Claude is not downstairs today either. Jurian and Garland had taken to training with each other, though they seem agitated that Claude is not helping them. Wait, what the? Let's check my log. That flicker was weird. Yep. Okay, I was correct. Okay. At the end of the day, I hurry into my room, write a few words on a piece of paper that I put into the locket. A normal rose would have withered, so I offered this one instead. In heartfelt thanks. I hold the locket tightly in my hand and start toward Claude's room. Why do I feel like I've read this before, even though I know I haven't? It's so weird. Like, this part, like the sword fighting part, and this part, I feel like I've read this before, even though I know I haven't. I know I haven't. But anyway. Why is my heart beating so fast? I'm just giving him a gift. I think it's because of like that feeling of like that fear of rejection. I think. I pause at Claude's door, remembering the last time I entered this room. I'm sure if it's okay if I just go in. I open the door to Claude's room, which is thankfully not locked, and step inside. Claude is sitting motionless in front of his mirror, shoulders slumped as he stared at his reflection. He's shirtless, and there's a tattoo. It seems different. Claude does not notice me at first. I notice that his hand goes to the tattoo over his chest, and then I hear him heave a heavy sigh. Slowly, I close the door behind me. It clicks, and that is when he suddenly turns to look at me. At first, there's just shock on his face, and then suddenly, anger. Again? Why do you do this again, Lucette? And I'm running out of save spots. Okay. Just be blunt. Just say, I came to give you something. Because talking doesn't seem to be working. Is that a plane or thunder? If it was thunder, it would be perfect, but I think it's a plane. I came to give you something. I tightly grip the locket in my hands as I stare at him. And this is so important, so very essentially, you once again missed knocking on my door for a simple delivery. His voice slices through my heart. I wanted it to be a surprise. I'm not in the mood for surprises, Princess. In no time at all, Claude is suddenly right in front of me. His hands outstretched on either side of me, pinning me to the wall against the door. His face is so close, his expression so fierce that I cannot even bring myself to think of a way out. The only thing I could do is stare at him levelly, without getting angry, without crying, and not show any weakness. Why? Why aren't you struggling or screaming at me? That's what the Lucette that I know would do. You do not know me as much as you think you do. And you know nothing about me. I already had our talk prepared when I stopped, realizing that he is right. I barely know anything about him. No, I don't, but I'd like to. Why do you insist on poking your nose into others' business? We're partners. That's the only reason. It has to be. I'm supposed to help you, so why do you keep secrets from me? Help me? His lips quirked, but his smile was sardonic. Cynical. Okay, that's what I thought. Claude, I want to help you. In the silence that descends upon us, I cannot help but look at Claude's tattoo, at the thorns twirling around the rose. It is beautiful, but it also seems so lethal. Yep, I knew it! So the tattoo basically comes to full bloom, I guess, or something. It kills him. I knew it. I knew it! I knew it. It had something to do with that. Whenever I glance at Claude again, he looks crestfallen, his eyes glittering like he might be on the verge of tears. Secrets are secrets for a reason, Princess. You should know that. If I could speak about them, I would, but I can't. You bursting into my room without any notice only makes it harder. Harder? For what? Princess, you can't imagine what this all feels like. What is he talking about? And that woman! I thought we were meant to be. She was so lovely. Her smile as bright as the sun. Claude's eyes are far away. That's why. Never again. You ruined everything, you said. You cut me down like... I pushed my hands against Claude's chest, catching him off guard and forcing him to stumble back. I cannot take any of this. If I've ruined everything, then I'll just leave. You can have all the time in the world to yourself then. The locket I bought for him burns in my hand, and I end up throwing it at his feet. Lucette, wait! I ignore him as I run from the room. When I return to my room and lock my door, I feel too hollow inside for tears. It hurts to breathe when I think of Claude. I eventually manage to fall asleep, but only a snatches of restless dreams when my eyes finally close. Oh shoot. Mother again! Mother? Are you and Father in true love? Like the fairy tales? I thought I forbid you to speak of fairy tales. Have you been reading them? No, Mother. I overheard someone in the palace talking about them today. And I shall have to find that person and make sure they know what an appropriate topic of conversation in the palace is. But Mother, the true love in fairy tales sounds so nice. Do you think I could fall in love in true love with a prince? Dearest one, true love like that does not exist. But love between a mother and her child is the truest kind. It cannot be replicated by anything else. Other kinds of love is an illusion. My love is all you will ever need. I was with her until that last part. Do you understand me, my heart? Yes, Mother. Yep, bad end. Bad end. Right there. The Lost Prince. Yeah, it's a bad end. I could tell. Keep your stance straight, Princess. Jurian gives her the warning, but too late on purpose. I can see the smile on her face as she effortlessly slides past my defenses and taps me on the shoulder with her wooden sword. I got you. Again. For the last 2 days, I've been practicing with Jurian and Garland because Quad still hasn't come out of his room. The knights offered to train me, and right now they're teaching me about ways to hold the sword. This is slow, but Claude did tell me I wouldn't be able to master the sword so quickly. Claude. He made me so angry that one day I could not even properly give him my gift. And I still feel sad that he's not here teaching me himself. Come on, Princess. Focus! I jolted out of the reverie and nodded at Jurian. Okay. I readied myself for our next strike, and once again I get tapped. This time on the hip. And fun fact, actually it's a common combat point, or at least for women, that you're more likely to get attacked on the hip compared to anywhere else. So there's actually a pretty cool Amazon book from a number of like medieval reenactors that decided to do like combat specifically for women. If I can remember what the title was, what the title is, I'll put it in the description below. But it's very interesting how for women fighters in particular, for women sword fighters, you have to like alter your stance slightly so that way your hip is not as vulnerable. It's interesting. Give it a shot. For those female identifying or female or more hip dominant figures out there. Check it out. Anyway. Garland takes over after Jurian, and then we do rounds where I try to hit them with certain strikes. They're both good at teaching, but it doesn't feel the same as Claude's instruction. His lessons seemed less like they were out of a book. Don't worry, Princess. It always starts out slow. Mine was just slow at training, but look at him now. Garland whips his head around in Jurian's direction, his face turning deep red. Jurian, that nickname. But you're so much fun to tease, Lan. She beams at him and then laughs at his embarrassed face. Our practice goes on for a few more minutes before the knights tell me to wrap up for the night. I think I'm going to stay out here for a little bit. Princess, you know it's dangerous out here at night. If I don't return in 10 minutes, you can come back and check off on me. Jurian seems unconvinced, but she eventually nods. Fine. But keep your guard up, Princess. I watch the two knights as they head back. I see Garland put his arm around Jurian's waist, pulling her closer. I turn away from the sight, ignoring the heavy feeling in my stomach. I'll just practice the swings for 5 more minutes. The only thing I hear in the clearing while I practice is my shallow breathing and the wind in my ears. Something breaks my concentration, however. I see a glimmer of color in the forest and I instantly stop. My hands growing tense on the sword. What was that? I glance around at my surroundings and then freeze when I feel a hand on my shoulder. I can feel someone's breath on my neck. This all feels familiar. Is this Quad? Oh, snap! I got into OBS. Apologies. Okay. I take point your sword at him. I'm pretty sure I recognize Quad's hand, but Because I know it's him, I must know what he'd want me to do. I took away from his hand and turned quickly to point my sword. The tip of the wood is at his neck for a few stunned moments. I think I've won. Even Claude looks surprised. It's really him! But then Claude's hands had moved, and he's one hand over my wrist and the other on my sword. Good, Lucette. You realized you had an opening, but you broke your concentration. Claude? Claude removes his hands, allowing me to lower my sword. I'm sorry, Lucette. I feel my breath catch in my throat when Claude holds out the rose pendant that I got for him. I feel my cheeks flush. He accidentally left this beautiful thing in my room when I came to return it. Return it? Yes, I left yesterday in my room, and so I only thought it appropriate to bring it back to you. Does he really think I left it there on accident? Why would I leave it in your room on accident? What? I brought it for you. And I wanted to give it to you, but you were acting so strangely, and... Claude's eyes widen, the surprise clear on his face. You said, you brought this for me? Why does he look so shocked? Claude looks at me in awe for a few moments. His eyes go back down to the locket. He traces a finger around the intricate shape, his eyebrows slowly furrowing. It's to thank you for everything you've done for me. Lucette? This is beautiful. He lets the chain fall through his fingers. He stares at the rose pendant with adoration. I feel my heartbeat stutter as he turns to regard me with the same gentle smile. He leans forward, and my breathing stops to reach out to hold the glass slipper necklace. He's standing so close to me. You are a good person, Lisette. You completed your second good deed. I think some kind of congratulations is in order. Is there anything you want that I can give to you? I look at him and notice that Claude's smile doesn't reach his eyes. He still looks so sad. I feel there's so much that I want from Claude, but I do not want to ask him that might make him sad. And I'm running out of save spots! Darn it! Okay. So I'm past the common route. I think I could start saving over. I could start saving over Rod's bad ending. So let's do that. Wait, it says number 4. Okay, yeah, let's overwrite that one. Okay, return. Ooh, what do I do? What do I do? Okay. Turn off the modern sensibilities. God. Okay. Because I know how much people hate the second option. Okay. So I've been streaming for about an hour. And I'm so clueless here, peeps. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? And there's nobody in. I don't have my shots, so I'm on my own. I think physical contact is the one thing that he's been avoiding. So maybe that'll change? I don't know! Okay, there we go. If I lost sound for the last, like, hour, I apologize. I had absolutely no idea I was muted. Because if I was, I'm so mad, and I'm so sorry. And that means I missed so much good dialogue. Ah, I'm so mad now, because I read all of that, and I was entirely unaware that was a problem. That means I have to re-record, like, a good chunk of this, probably, afterwards. Not a problem, though. I can easily do that. But anyway, let's say, I have a bad feeling about this. It's not strange for the king to make announcements, but this feels so sudden. And then the clock went off, so I think that kind of worked out, though. With everything else that's happened to me, I feel on edge. Wow, Lucette, these bags sound a lot lighter than they'd actually be. Stop complaining, Miss Karma. You get valuable experience out of carrying bags. Seeing Cloud complain is amusing, especially since I know he can handle the load. I feel like a servant. What does that make me when you made me carry all those bags before? An assistant? I roll my eyes at him. We're both working at the marching, you know. And a thought strikes me. What do you even do at the marching? Claude looks surprised at my question, but then quickly smiles at me. I train the knights, of course. I also attract customers with my beautiful reputation. I start laughing and Claude's face flushes. Darling, I get the feeling that you're laughing at me. I wonder. We finish up with the rest of our errands and then sit down in the town plaza to rest. Claude leaves briefly and then returns with a slice of cake for both of us to share a snack. I have a lot of things I want to ask him, and now feels like the right time to do so. May I ask you a question? Of course, darling. Anything. Do you enjoy dressing like a woman? I don't mind it, really. I appreciate the beauty in anything. You girls get to wear quite an assortment of lovely dresses and makeup. It's quite beautiful. I feel more comfortable in my own clothes, but I don't mind dresses. I guess if you had to wear a dress for so long, you'd get used to it. I have another question. And what would that be? When I was in your room the other day, you spoke about a woman. Were you talking about the witch who cursed you? Oh no, the woman I was talking about? He suddenly goes silent and moves his head. His expression fades into something more melancholy. I feel my heart lurch. Ooh, it's a new track. Oh my god. Okay. I bet $1 that it was his fiance. Maybe I shouldn't have brought this up. To my surprise, Cloud continues talking. Shortly after I came to Angiel, there was a woman that I met whose smile was as radiant as sunshine. She was beautiful. When she laughed, everything felt right about the world. Hearing him talk about her makes me uncomfortable. Am I jealous? Claude watches me quietly, as if he was measuring my expression. Eventually, he goes back to speaking. I knew her for many months. Time passed, and I thought we were truly in love. Then He goes silent for a few moments, his eyes distant, his expression pained. Well, some things happened, and I realized she only loved me because of my curse. She was drawn to me just as any other woman is. She seemed so genuine in comparison to the other women, but in the end... Claude trails off and lets out an exasperated sigh. You were truly in love with her? I was. I've dated many women, but I've never fallen in love with someone who's honestly loved me back. So the last person you loved was that one woman. Oh, snap! So basically, this is my guess. I'm calling it now. So that rose is one element to his curse, but then I think the thorns kind of play into it, and each thorn is essentially is all the feelings that were not genuinely reciprocated. Because the saying is, no woman can ever love a beast. And in this case, the beast is beauty. So no one can really love a beauty, essentially. And so, if Claude can't find basically can't find a love that's genuine, that's beyond his looks, he dies. And it gets especially painful if the feeling isn't reciprocated or mutual. So that's why he's been avoiding any romantic entanglements ever since that one person. So if Lucette became that significant other and she breaks his heart, or maybe he does it, he dies. And that's why he's conflicted. Because she could be the one, but she could also be stuck in his appearance too. But then again, the probability is pretty low because she's picking up fairy tale curse as well. So, if anything, it's more likely to be genuine and beyond his appearance here. That's my running theory anyway. I could be totally wrong. Claude looks at me and for moments he does not speak. Lucette, do you mind if I ask you a question? No? I don't mind. Have you ever loved anyone? My mother, of course. I was referring to a romantic kind of love. Romantic kind of love? To all my aromantics out there, I apologize. What does that kind of love feel like? Well, I personally don't identify as aromantic. I do identify as ace and demi. Even more specific. Gray ace, more specifically, so... Demi, most likely. Allow me to enlighten you. He smiles at me, and it is surprisingly genuine. It can feel simultaneously like floating and sinking. Your heart stutters, and you worry about small things, about offending the other person in some way. You wonder if they'll like what you're wearing, or if they would prefer a sandwich to a casserole when you treat them for dinner. You begin to find the beauty in all things they do. Their presence makes you feel complete, in a way you never thought of before. Try to imagine life without that person, and you find you cannot. So you even consider such a thing as painful. So much so that it feels like it might break your heart. Claude continues talking, but my mind is already whirling. Though he phrases things in a way that still feels dramatic, I feel a tinge of familiarity. The things he's describing, those are things I feel when I'm with him. Before I could say anything, we hear the sound of hooves and both of us turn. I could see a procession of knights, along with the king on his horse. He normally rides in a town like this, but today he's not smiling, and there are way too many knights riding with him. And is that Cyril Castor? Let's go and find a place to watch. As you wish. Claude follows with me into the crowd gathering around the king, and we find a spot to spectate at the very edge, closer to the alleyways. I think I got the last time, man! What are you doing? Stop going in your alleyways! Beloved citizens of Angiel, I have come before you today to make an important announcement. Ever since I was given this crown, I have sworn to live my life for the people, and to rule in all fairness, so that our kingdom could enjoy great peace. The crowd breaks into applause. I stare at the king, an uneasy feeling in my stomach when I notice that there is sadness in his eyes, though he is smiling. Then I notice Cyril Castor appears to be hiding a smile. I do not like where this is going. The king's speech goes on for long minutes after that, with him detailing the commitments he made, the goals he set, and finally, his love for the people. The audience around us claps and cheers, but Claude and I are silent. Something is not right. A non-response. To this day, I keep this promise. I would never break this oath, for it is the foundation on which I rule. The audience claps again, but I'm silent, watching the king intently. Unfortunately, the unwelcome news that I bring to you today gives me reason to hand this foundation over to someone else. I've fallen terminally ill. What? Oh my god! So he's abdicating! He's abdicating! What? The king's proclamation is met with shocked and angry chattering from the audience. I cannot hear anything that's being said over the cacophony of voices, but I know the audience is dissenting. I stiffen as I stare at the king. He's lying. I can tell by the firm set of his jaw and the way his eyes flicker across the crowd faster than they ought to. This king has lied to me so many times before that I can recognize when he does it. I know the unfortunate news must come as a shock, but this is an illness for which there is no current cure. As for the question of my successor, he trails off for a few moments, and I think I see something in his eyes that hints at urgency, but I'm not sure why. Crown Princess Emmeline is unmarried, and is still too young to rule on her own. I feel a pang of irritation and confusion. Another lie. Emmeline could rule just fine with the help of Sir Mythos and the others. After much thought, I've come to the conclusion that our kingdom, which still continues to face danger from the witches, is best put in the capable hands of the commander of the Order of Caldera, Cyril Castor. What? I cannot hide my shock. The rest of the audience reacts similarly. Their sudden outburst is testament to their confusion. While I will be providing support and assistance from the sidelines, I cannot in all good grace continue to wear this crown when I know I cannot serve my people as they deserve. Simply put, I believe that the witches have gained more power in the recent months, and that Cyril Castor is best suited to deal with these conflicts. You're basically put like a second world war, essentially. Oh my gosh! What are you doing, Gennaro? You're the king! Then again, he could have been assassinated. The fairy tale curse runs more rampant these days, but there have been more reports of incidents involving magic. The murmuring continues, except now the townsfolk sound panicked. This cannot be true. I do not miss the reluctance in the king's next words. Sir Alcaster has suggested a number of remedies to our laws, especially concerning our security and work hours. I believe that Sir Alcaster can better rule this country in these turbulent times. Please show him all the love and loyalty that you have shown me. You bastard. Cloud has a foul expression on his face, and his words feel heavy, even in a low whisper. I know the king. He takes every duty upon himself, and he would never hand his crown to someone else. Once Sir Alcaster comes to stand on the podium, he silences them with a glare. Citizens of Angiel, I swear to you that I will serve you as well as Gennaro has. That being said, I also believe some changes will need to be made. Sir Alcaster continues to speak. He mentions things like curfews for safety, extended work hours, and additional taxes to go toward the knights, but I'm slowly beginning to block out the drone of his voice. What is going on? Sir, no. Alcaster must have done something to force the king into this charade. The king stands behind Alcaster with his hands clasped, his eyes alert, but there is a helplessness to them that I have never seen before. It isn't long before the crowd's unsettled murmuring becomes agitated whispering. I'm stunned when Claude cups his hand to his mouth and starts shouting. There is only one king! King Gennaro! Claude grips my hand and starts leading me around the outskirts so that people cannot spot him as he continues to shout. The crowd begins to chant along with Claude, and they draw near to the stage where my father and Alcaster are standing. There is only one king! King Gennaro! There is only one king! King Gennaro! Let's go, Lucette. The crowd is right next to the platform now, and the chant carries on. Claude pulls me behind him, but the light is on my father and on his desperate eyes. Hours later, I think it's another new track, actually. Hours later, the merchant's tavern is chaotic. People are talking over each other, trying to relay the scene they saw in town today. Every visitor here is talking about what they witnessed. I have been in the corner of the room this entire time, trying to understand everyone, but failing. Laura and Parfait are not here to calm all this chaos. Hey, Princess! How are you feeling? I almost jump when I hear Rumple's voice. Surprised? I can feel when a damsel is in distress, my lady. I'm probably not in the mood for your flirting, Rumple. Oh, my apologies. I thought you might have wanted some cheering up. Where's your partner? He went out to town to study the situation. Conrad doesn't do anything around the tavern, but he does a whole lot for you, doesn't he? I suppose that's the least a man in love can do. I feel myself blush. What is Rumple going on about? Princess, you're pink. I am not. My mind feels all scrambled now. It's all Rumple's fault. Thankfully, before Rumple can continue talking, the door opens and Delora walks inside to call the marching orders in the reception room. When I step into the reception room, I'm surprised to see two familiar figures standing beside Parfait. Emmeline and Rod. Both of them look downtrodden and discouraged. I don't know if Emmeline actually knew this spot, but anyway. Everyone is noticeably shocked as they step inside. The prince and the princess? Where did they come from? What is happening at the palace? What of Queen Ophelia? We need silence in the room, everyone. Delora raises her voice, effectively causing everyone to pause. She glances at Parfait, who nods and then turns to look at Rod and Emmeline. Princess Emmeline, if you would tell everyone what you told Delora and I... The room is unnaturally quiet as Emmeline begins her story. She starts with the events of 1 week ago. In the middle of a family dinner, Alcaster burst in with soldiers and seized her, Rod, and Ophelia in front of the king. So Alcaster said if the king didn't hand over his crown, he would kill us. We had no idea that a coup would be staged. Oh yeah, because all the other times we were able to prevent it or be in the front lines. This time we weren't. We were outside. So we had no idea. I forgot! So because we weren't able to interfere, they just got in without any interference. We had no idea a coup would be staged. The three of them were taken down to the prison cells, with Ophelia taken to a separate cell. Sir Fitzgerald helped us escape, but only just barely. Fritz, are you openly disobeying your father? I hope that he is safe. Alcaster wanted to kill the king. I'm sure that he still will. But he has no reason to. The king has already handed over his crown. Mutiny! Don't forget! Mutiny. I mean, I've never heard of a king reclaiming a crown after abdication, but technically his abdication is not formal. So, mutiny could still happen. I speak before even realizing. Everyone stares at me, including Rod and Emmeline. Alcaster is a foul man. I only think he usurped the throne now without violence because he wants less resistance from the people. He never spoke up to my father before. Did you just say... father? It's a long story, Em. Emmeline looks between Rod and I, her expression confused. You know each other? We do. Emmeline looks like she wants to say something, but she remains silent. Oh yeah, she doesn't know. She doesn't know because her memory's wiped. Our mother is still inside the palace. We need to save her somehow. And Sir Fitzgerald. What happened to Fritz? We don't know. He helped us escape, but we were spotted at the last minute. He told us to run ahead and leave him behind. We didn't see him again after that, and we couldn't just wait, so Rod brought me here. Right now we need to piece together the situation as quickly as we can, and then we need to figure out a way to save the king. I knew Alcaster was up to something, but I never thought it would escalate into this. Jurian? Why did you know about this? Garland and I weren't strict with our titles because we disobeyed Alcaster's orders. It was because we overheard Alcaster plotting something and tried to tell the king of his plot. We gave him a warning, but the king did not believe us. Not with Alcaster and Mythos whispering in his ears. The king didn't think Alcaster was possible for such a betrayal. He thought we were trying to turn him against Alcaster for our own gain. And so Alcaster stripped us of our titles and banished us from the palace. Lady Parfait found us, and when we were happy to help out at the tavern, We also intended to eventually do something about the mess in the palace. So our caster has been planning to do this all this time? When we part for the night, Parfait and Delora take Rod and Emmeline to a room they can share. It's been decided they'll be harbored here at the Marchen, a place that Emmeline apparently knew about, but never came to because she wasn't cursed. Well, Rod did say that his family knew he was cursed. I noticed Emmeline looking at me many times throughout the night, but she never asked me anything. The next few days are a muddled mess. Everyone is busy trying to find out what happened and what can be done to help the king. I'm sweeping the tavern half-heartedly one day, my thoughts on everything but my chores. Everyone's been trying to do something to help out the last few days. They've gone on quite a few trips into town with Claude to search for information. I haven't been able to find much. I feel so useless. I'm finally on my break, so I decide to go into the reception room to rest. When I step inside, I notice Emmeline sitting on the couch. She waves me over as soon as she sees me. She hasn't really openly spoken to me since she's been here. Parfait and Delora have been trying to hide her, so as not to cause a ruckus in the Marchen. Rumors are dangerous now. You're Lucette, right? Yes. Rod told me about your curse. He said that you're the king's blood daughter. I'm really sorry. I'm shocked by Emmeline's sudden outburst. What? I didn't mean to, but I took your place. How could I forget my own sister? We're not blood related. That doesn't matter. I would love you regardless. Emmeline was always trying to take me out and do things with me back when I was still in the palace. I distanced myself from her because I thought the king loved her more than he loved me. I still think that maybe he does. We weren't close. I barely spoke to you or to Rod. Didn't he tell you that? He did. But perhaps now we could turn over a new leaf? Emmeline is as stubborn as always. I have more things to worry about than being her friend. I have to go. I walk off where the conversation can continue. If I hadn't been cursed and remained in the palace, would Sir Alcaster have taken me hostage too? The hours tick by and his tavern is emptied for the day. Delora calls everyone together to explain what she and Parfait had pieced together about the situation. Alright everyone, we've come across some new information. The first is that Alcaster has cracked down on the riots in town. Anyone seen protesting his rule was thrown in prison. The king always valued the people's opinions. Alcaster does not want opinions. He only wants to rule with an iron fist. Our patrols have shown that there is overall more security in the palace and around town. They've been charged with keeping people quiet in whatever ways they possibly can. As we heard from the prince and the princess, things are most turbulent in the palace. The king is still alive, but it's unlikely he will stay that way for very long. One thing is clear. Given Alcaster's motives to take over the kingdom, I doubt he will rest until the king is dead. The king's men have turned against him. Even if there are loyal soldiers still left in the palace, we cannot contact them right now. Rescuing the king and queen would be on us then. We just so happen to have people in this tavern that have a shot at rescuing them. Prince Rod has the key to a secret passage we can use to break into the palace. Secret passageway? But only the king and the commander of the knights have the key to that passage, so how did they get a copy? Who's going to join us on this mission? Jurian and Garland both volunteer immediately, followed by shortly by Claude and Waltz. I'll go too. The room goes quiet as I step forward and volunteer. Princess, we can't just allow you to put yourself in danger. I look at Claude, who was staring at me shocked. I took up the sword so I could protect those I care about. Princess, you don't have nearly enough practice. But I can help. I still have time to learn. I agree with Parfait, Princess. That palace isn't the place for you to try out your newfound sword skills. They might as well chain me up because I refuse to stay here while you all go save the king. Princess. Well, she has been practicing with the rest of us. Don't encourage her, Jurian. It's not like any of us can stop her anyway. You're right. princess is quite stubborn. Claude agrees with Jurian, but I can tell he does not like the idea of me going along with them. We only had time to get reinforcements from Karma's country. Karma's country? Brigantia. How is it possible that a Brigantian citizen can simply ask for reinforcements? Because he's not a Brigantian citizen, he's a Brigantian prince. Karma is the crown prince of Brigantia. There's some shuffling in the room as everyone turns to Gucket. Hold on one sec. Okay, I'm back. I was calling me earlier. There's some shuffling in the room as everyone turns to gawk at Claude. Rumpel, Anise, Rod, and Emmeline all look shocked by this revelation. You're the Lost Prince? Lost Prince. Sounds like such a tragedy, doesn't it? Anise suddenly looks distressed as she fiddles her thumbs. All this time and I never knew? I'm so sorry, Your Highness. There's no need for formalities, Anise. But I'm the Lost Prince, after all. I keep my lineage secret because right now I'm just a normal commoner. But you're the prince! Couldn't you still ask for reinforcements? Even if I did ask for reinforcements, I'm pretty sure they would never come in time. Besides, I can't go back to my kingdom yet. You can't go back while he's still cursed. The conversation continues in a more solemn tone. Eventually, we start speaking of our plan to enter the palace. When the details are all finalized, I repeat everything to myself to make certain that I know what's meant to happen. Walt will lead us into the palace, then, and Jurian and Garland will follow right behind him, watching for the most immediate enemies. Leave it to us. We'll deal with any resistance before it touches you, Princess. And Karma will be watching from the back, along with Delora. A witch and a prince for backup. Delora smiles wryly. Claude rolls his shoulders. I like to think of us as more of the closing act. Though it all goes according to plan, we will have no need for either the opening or the closing act. It is a small task force, which is better. The smaller, the better. The last thing we want is to be noticed. We decide to meet again over the course of the next week to finalize our plan and carefully survey the situation in town before parting. Claude has taken to training me, Jurian, and Garland at the same time. Just the other day, he had all of us attack him together. Even though I'm nowhere near as good as a trained knight, I still managed to hit him once. I feel like things are coming to some sort of conclusion, and yet I still haven't done 3 good deeds. Today we finalized our plans for getting into the palace. We have mapped out where the king and Ophelia must be in the prisons, where the guards will be positioned, and how we plan on sneaking in. I sit down on my bed and I'm about to lay down, when I hear something. Hello, love. Karma! Karma! Whoa, in more ways than one. Dang. My, you're red. Were you thinking about me? I noticed that he has one hand on his chest tonight, but then he's doing that more often lately. I notice it during practices and sometimes when I catch his eyes. Is he sick? Darling? I shake myself at the sound of Claude's voice. What if I was changing? You could have not! Well, you did seem to have a problem when you walked in on me changing without announcing myself. That's different. He strolls inside and sits closer to me. Excuse me. He smiles at me mischievously. Oh? How so? Cat got your tongue? Claude shakes his head, his smile softening. I really didn't mean to come in to disturb you. I just have something important I need to say to you. Claude kneels in front of me and furrows his eyebrows. want to insist that you be considered going to the palace with us. As Parfait and Delora have said many times, it will be dangerous. Nothing you say is going to change my mind. I want to do what I can to help everyone. Yes, and that terrifies me. Terrifies you? If your stubbornness leads you to forgetting your neck out there for someone, I'll never forgive myself for your injuries. If you want to help me, stay here or you'll be safe. I'm not some damsel that needs to be protected. Lucette, all I want for you is for you to stay safe, so that when we save your father, you can face him with a smile. I won't be able to face my father unless I'm one of the people to save him. Stubborn as always. I sigh, irritation welling in my stomach as I look at Claude's face. He's calling me stubborn, but he's being stubborn about this. You said I improved my sword fighting. You have. You've improved so much because of your resilience and drive, and because you're genuinely interested. It's because I have a good teacher. Oh, your compliment is gentle music to my ears. Your compliments mean a lot to me, Lucette. My eyes fixate on the soft smile of the gentle prickles of his eyes. Our eyes locked, and for a few moments I'm aware of a slight energy between us. I glance away hurriedly, not entirely sure what would happen if I kept staring at him. My heart beats unsteadily in my chest. Earlier today, I comforted your sister when she had started crying about the things that had happened in the palace. Emmeline? Why would he comfort her? I saw her crying downstairs in the reception room earlier today, without anyone there. She is a rather sweet girl. I keep thinking that the two of you are clearly different. You're both strong-willed and stubborn. She wears her emotions on her sleeve while you keep it all inside you. I'm not hiding anything if that's what you're implying. Mother always told me crying was weak. Claude stands up and leans forward. Before I know it, I'm in his arms. Lucette, I'm always here for you. I feel flustered again and my mind feels foggy. I can barely comprehend what's in my mind or in my heart. Oh my god! Oh god. Why do you make this impossible? What do I say? Do I thank him? Do I apologize? What? Because on the one hand, the I'm sorry could give him more to talk about, and yet the thank you could give him the courage he needs to fight. I don't know. It's getting so hard with the later ones now, because now I'm just not sure. Because, like, in the beginning when Lucette's still, like, her stubborn self, it's so easy for me to be that way. But then, like, when she gets, like, much softer, I don't know what to think anymore. Because I don't know how much of that stubbornness is still there. I'm risking it and thanking him. I think it's going to be a good third deed, is thanking him. You never need to thank me, Lucette. But you've done so much for me. It's not just the sword fighting, it's your patience, your company, you're saving me when I needed help. That's not true. I'm pretty sure that I'm the most selfish person in this tavern. All I ever want is things for myself. I never thought you were selfish, Claude. He puts a hand on my cheek and looks at me solemnly. You don't think that me wanting you is... Oh, shit! Suddenly he steps back, his hand on his chest again. He's breathing heavy. I stare at Claude with wide eyes. Claude, are you okay? I'm fine. He says it slowly, but he sounds obviously pained. I'll go get a niece. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I swear it's just a spell of dizziness. But you... He manages a small, tight-lipped smile before he straightens and shakes his head. His hands are visibly shaking. He must be tired. But Claude, do not tell anyone about this, okay? I don't want them to worry. Why is he always so stubborn? He's obviously in pain. I clench my hands into fists I frown at him. Well, why would you always be so secretive? You're keeping something from me, Claude. I'm sorry, Lucette. Claude abruptly leaves the room, leaving me with my fragmented thoughts. And I'm getting a sad end no matter what, so I think the apology was actually the better way to go, but I won't know until I finish this, won't I? Chapter 9, The Rescue. I brace myself for the sad end. I'm bracing myself for the sad end. Today I will land another hit on you, Karma. If you can, darling, I welcome the challenge. Princess, your side is open. I bring my sword up closer to my side as Karma strikes me. Tonight is the first time I get to use a real sword as opposed to a practice sword. The sound of metal clashing echoes into the night. Is this what a real battle feels like? We've been practicing under skirmish conditions for the last few days. Since tomorrow is the day we enact our plan, we're doing some last-minute practice. Remember, fighting back-to-back is better than doing it alone. Claude judges Durian's sword as he speaks, but I notice that he seems to be taking special care not to look in my direction. He's been fine for the last few days, but I'm not sure when his pain will return. If only he would tell me what was wrong with him. When Claude finally calls the end of practice, we are all exhausted. Good job, everyone. You'll all be fine tomorrow. Garland turns to face me, a soft expression on his face. And if it comes down to it, Juria and I will protect you. Garland looks over his shoulder at Claude. Both of you. That's our job as knights. I'm quite capable of protecting myself, but I do appreciate the author. It's late. We should all get some rest. The two knights excuse themselves, leaving me with Claude. Who said, "You should go to bed." Princess? I have a feeling I won't sleep much tonight anyway. Be that as it may, you should still try. How about to retire for the night as well? Ah! Why is this so hard? Ah! Do I keep practicing? Do I talk with him? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Because on the one hand, preparation is amazing. But on the other hand, what do I say? You know what? You should be thinking like, why are you avoiding this for so long? I'm not gonna go to bed without talking with you. What is going on with you? Let's talk with him. About what? Claude takes a step back and a stare at his hand absently moves to his chest. Are you really okay, Claude? I've been perfectly fine this past week. He's lying. He's obviously in pain. Why do you have to keep your pain a secret? Why won't you talk to me? I've told you before that some things are better kept a secret, Princess. Claude sighs out, then leans forward to set a hand on my head. Lucette, promise you'll stay behind me before attacked. And if at any point it looks like you may not make it, you're to run as fast as you can back to the margin. That is cowardly. Lucette, don't you remember what I said before? Sometimes running is the right thing to do. Never run into an impossible situation. Something tells me that I should pick something else. I feel like I need to pick keep practicing. Let's see what that will do. Princess, if you overexert, your reflexes will be slow tomorrow. But I'm nowhere near as good as Jurian or Garland. You sure you won't reconsider going, Princess? No, so please stop insisting I reconsider. Okay, I feel better with this one, actually. I will go to save my father. Yeah, that feels more in character, actually. A good thing I switched. Quad size album moves forward to step ahead of my head. Okay, stay behind me when I'm attacked. Scrolling is the right thing to do, never run into a possible situation. Okay. Instead, live to fight another day. Promise me you'll stay behind me. Please, Lucette. Give me the peace of mind. Oh boy! That is too much to ask. That is too much to ask. And plus, Lucette is stubborn. She is not going to stay behind. I think she can't promise that. She can't promise something she can't keep. I'm sorry. Princess, I'll be fighting right beside you if it comes down to it. I'm going... Yes! I picked the right one. I know it. I'm going to protect him. Staying behind him will only have him suffering because of me. Stubborn until the very end. Yes! Because this is Lucette we're talking about here. I only want to be on equal footing with you. Quad sighs, but does not say anything. Let's attempt sleeping preparation for tomorrow. When this is all over, I'll pry Quad's secrets out of him. Today is the night, and everyone is just about ready to go. I can't get this feeling of foreboding off my chest. Everyone's gathered close to the door, ready to see us off. Everyone except... Princess! Rumpel suddenly appears, a niece cutting up to stand right next to him. What are you two doing here? Well, of course we came to wish you good luck, just like everyone else here. We're waiting for you tonight so we can celebrate everyone's return. Be careful. Emmeline, who's been everywhere with her brothers since they came here, is standing right beside him now with a smile. I will pray for your safe return. Her smile wavers, and I can tell she is uncertain. She has the great knights of Caldera, 2 witches and a prince. She'll be fine. Rod's responses are curt as usual, but I can't help but notice the hesitance in his voice. Even though he stares at me without expression, I think I can see a tinge of worry in his eyes. Rest assured that we will keep the princess safe. We're not going to get outcast again with what he did to Angiel and its royal family. Parfait steps forward last. She and Delora glance at each other, and I feel some secret message bounces between the two of them. Delora nods ever so slightly before Parfait turns to the rest of us. Her eyes eventually fall on me. You've changed since you've been here, Princess. But your dedication and resolve never wavers. It has always been there, just beneath the surface. Stubbornness or resolve? It is as if Parfait is able to read my thoughts. She smiles as she sets a hand on my shoulder. Dedication is very much like King Gennaro's. You are proud and honorable, and always take steps in the right direction. That is why I know you will be back tonight. Just so Rumpel said. We'll all be waiting for you. All of you. Stay safe tonight. And now in my head, as everyone gathered around begins to repeat their hearty goodbyes. It is Delora who walks away first. We all fall behind. The night has just begun. Our way to the palace gates is uneventful, but we pause some distance away from them to take shelter in a nearby alley. There are knights everywhere. Waltz points to what looks like a regular section of the wall. There is a hidden door to the tunnels. If we time it right between the knights' patrols, we should be able to make it. On my signal. Claw puts a hand on my shoulder and squeezes. It's an abrupt gesture and doesn't last long, but the motion calms my nerves somewhat. We'll be fine. Our footsteps echo in the tunnel. Standing in front of me are Jurian and Garland, who are flanking Waltz. Delora stands beside me, and Quado is at my back. The small tunnel makes it seem like we brought a lot of people. This way. We silently follow Waltz's instructions. How is it Waltz knows about these tunnels? Because, as we mentioned earlier, Waltz actually trained under Hilder, Lucettes' mother. So he knows the place like front to back, essentially. And then Delora also has sister with Hilder as well. So there's that. I've already taken into account the guards and where they might be positioned based on Prince Rod's information. We should be alright. Garland and I will act as distractions if needed. Princess, leave most of the fighting to us if there's anything to be done. I know. I'll only fight if I need to. When I wasn't cursed, I would be able to fight to my full extent. I think you're still quite capable without all your magic, puppeteer. Oh. Compliment? It's an honor, Miss Karma. I'm only just because of Jurian, you know. Jurian crosses her arms and cocks an eyebrow at Claude. I wouldn't fall in love with you, no matter what you say. That's what they all say. We're here. Suddenly everyone goes quiet. I feel a lot heavier as I stare at the staircase in front of me. And I'm sorry, I'm delayed the laughter, but... yeah, I think you might be the exception. Don't worry. I think with Jurian you're fine. This should lead to the throne room. I did not know we had a secret passage in the throne room. How much does Waltz know about the palace? Quite a lot, believe it or not, man. Immediately after we set into the throne room, we split apart to avoid the guards' gazes. I stick close to Claude and Waltz as Delora conjures a blanket of shimmering fog that envelops the guards. I watch as the guards' eyes close before they slump to the ground. Delora drops her hands at once while all the guards are truly asleep. Amazing how intolerant humans are to magic. Let's keep going. Getting through the palace is no easy feat. Hallways that were easy to get through before are difficult to traverse now with all the soldiers standing around. Delora casts a spell to silence our footsteps into quiet muffles, but moving is still difficult, especially with such a group. Eventually, we arrive just outside the tunnels that should lead to the castle's prison. I'll stand watch. Be careful, Waltz. I will. We enter another network of tunnels. Jurian, Garland, after you. Jurian glances at me briefly, and then at Claude, who nods, a little stiffly. We'll be right back. And according to the plan, Claude and I are left to the halfway point of our tunnels, to ensure a clean escape as Delora, Jurian, and Garland continue on to the prison. It should be fine. But I am still worried. My eyes wander to Claude, and I bite down on my lower lip when I notice that his hand is once again raised to his chest. I finally find myself reaching out to grab Claude's hand, but he swiftly pulls it away. The glare on his face takes me by surprise. Why is he so angry? Claude puts his hand to his chest and flinches as he leans on the wall. Not now. His voice sounds pained. What is he talking about? Claude? I just need some space, Princess. But I'm fine. I can't help but feel irritated at the way Claude has snapped at me. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be this way. He trails off, his eyes distant. Because of your curse, right. Most of the time he's sociable and a pleasure to talk to, but then he reverts to this state. It's like he's two different people. I can't understand why he is like this. Why do I care so much for someone who keeps secrets? Who said, I wish I could explain, but if I did, you would hate me. And more accurately, you would be afraid of me. This is too hard! What do I do? Do I go, I could never be afraid of you? Or why would I be afraid of you? I think the question would be easier than a declaration. So let's do that. You've never done anything frightening before. You aren't a frightening person. The only time you ever frighten me is when you're like this. When you look like you're in pain and when you keep secrets. The secrets are my own selfish desire, but they're for your safety too. You're talking in circles. Why don't you just tell me what's going on? Oh, come on! Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. His hand moves quickly to the hilt of his sword just as I reach for mine. We only relax when we see that it's Jurian, Garland, and Delora heading toward us. Why are they alone? Where are the king and queen? They weren't in the prison. Oh, I knew it! It was a trap! It's a trap! Admiral Akbar is in the building. It's a trap! I have no idea where else they could be. It's a trap. It's a trap. I knew it. Trap. Laura steps out from between the two of them, her expression somber. This doesn't bode well for us at all. We can't keep sneaking without a direction. That's a sure way to get caught. The words just left her mouth and the alarm sounds behind us. Don't tell me. It's the alarm. Everyone drops the weapons as Waltz appears, running toward us with a hairy expression on his face. Okay. I'm betting $1 that he's back to his normal form. Dang it, no! Never mind. The knights are on their way. How do they know we were here? In seconds, I hear clanking of metal, and then there are knights upon us. We're forced to scatter to deal with different opponents. A guard brushes at me with his sword, but I somehow managed to block his attack. I should be able to wind around him. The knight falls after I catch him from behind, and give Claude an opening to attack him. Lucette! A knight manages to separate Claude and I, leaving me by myself. He grasps my arm. Unhand me! I watch in shock as the shimmering fog surrounds my attacker. His eyes close as he slumps to the ground. He's only the first to fall. Seconds later, most of the knights in my immediate vicinity have fallen to the ground. I can tell by the subtle rise and fall of their chests that they are asleep. So, my guess is her birthday has come in, now her powers have been activated. That's my theory. Let's see. Oh, it's the war, never mind. Sorry, I couldn't focus long enough to cast that spell earlier. Delora drops her hands and turns to address Waltz, Claude, and I. Head toward the entrance hall. The king must be in one of the central rooms. Jurian, Garland, and I would head to the bedchambers in the east wing to look for the queen. Splitting up is not part of the plan. I don't have much of a choice anymore. If we're going to get the king and queen out of here, we have to improvise. Now go. Claude grabs my hand and jerks his head at Waltz. Let's go. Three of us rush out into one of the palace hallways. I keep my gaze forward while Waltz and Claude watch for enemies on either side of us. On our right! Claude grabs his sword and moves before Waltz and I can respond. He dives low toward the soldier, his sword poised straight for a devastating blow. Knights begin to approach us on the left and I raise my sword, readying myself. Waltz snaps his fingers, a flash of light blinding the men in the immediate vicinity, and I use the opportunity to rush the knights in front of me. I grip my teeth as I attack. Most of my blows are lucky. There are too many knights for me to be able to get the upper hand, though. There's so many of them. Well, well. If it isn't the most desirable princess. I whip around to attack the man that spoke to me, but he's nowhere to be found. Where is he? Who are you? I wonder. Lucette! I turn and see Claude running toward me, a panicked expression in his eyes. I take a step toward him when a masked man suddenly blocks my path. Who are you? I raise my sword, but then the masked man taps his cane on the floor before I can swing. An incredible pressure blasts out from the cane. It shoves Claude to the floor and blows me backwards. I feel a tragic ending coming on. Here we go. I hit the wall hard. My vision darkens. God. Where am I? Why can't I see anything? My head hurts. Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. I jerk up upright in the familiar voice. You're the man that knocked me out! The man laughs and I blinked as I tried to pinpoint the direction of his voice. Did he blindfold me? I command you to take off this blindfold! I don't take orders from princesses that no one remembers. Dang. But I am a gentleman, so I suppose I shall have to heed a lady's request. The blindfold is abruptly pulled off and I flinch in the sudden brightness. Why, hello there, princess. My captor looks at me, amused. He wears a crooked grin on his masked face and a cape on his shoulders. Who is he? My eyes wander to the throne and I can't help but gasp at what I see. The king is strapped to the throne, hands bound, mouth covered. Your Majesty! The king pauses to look at me, his eyes containing a mixture of alarm and confusion. I turn to glare at the masked man. Let him go! No can do, princess. No. Don't you think he still looks regal sitting on his throne like that? I grit my teeth as I begin to struggle against my bonds. Struggle all you like. You won't get out of those knots anytime soon. Who are you? The masked man drops into an elegant bow. I am called Varg. Varg? What have you done to my father? Me? Nothing. Well, nothing much. I guess gagging a person and tying their hands behind their back counts as something. Are you working for Sir Alcaster? I don't work for anyone. He's a mercenary? The door flies open and Alcaster steps in, his face full of anger. Mythos, the fool! How absolutely useless he was. Varg gives a dismissive shrug. He regards me again with his mischievous smile. Well, I do agree with that wholeheartedly. That man is in the past. Here in the present, he has something far more interesting to deal with. Varg gestures at me. I glare at Varg before turning my gaze to Alcaster. I used to think Alcaster was someone to be respected. Not anymore. Is it the princess herself? Darn it, clock! But you know what? I'm keeping going. You remember who I am? Once Mythos made the connection, it was just too obvious to be false. Did Sir Mythos remember me? Alcaster shifts his attention to the king. Gennaro, do you not remember this girl as your own blood daughter? My eyes meet the king's, but I see recognition in his gaze. He cannot remember me. I haven't managed to break my curse yet. Why are you doing this to my father? To the kingdom? Everything I do for the kingdom. All successful rulers have run with an iron fist. Fear is the best motivation. A king that is too lenient and does not inspire fear has no business being on the throne. But the people of NGL love their king. Before I thought the townspeople were despicable because they hated me. Now I understand their reasons. They may have judged me as mother's daughter, which is wrong, but that does not mean they should be subject to a regime of fear. Your obligation as ruler is to rule for the country, not the people. Back when the queen was still alive and this place knew the fear of the witches, they were far more productive. Fear motivates. Fear makes a man... King Alcaster! You better have a good excuse for interrupting. Your Highness, there's a beast! Oh my god! Oh my god! So basically, the curse is basically him. He turns into a beast if he doesn't fall in love. So it's traditional Beauty and the Beast thing. That's why he's been upset. It's because he's trying to suppress his beast nature and he couldn't anymore. Ah! Oh my god. What are you blathering about, you fool? A beast! A magical beast is rampaging around the palace. Is this the dead witch is doing? No! Don't tell me Delora was killed. No! Dead? Witch? No. Delora's fine. She has to be. Out with it! Did Mythos do this? If it's Mythos, okay, that makes more sense. What? I cannot stop myself from blurting out the question. Sir Mythos is a witch? He was a witch, but now he is dead. He turns to his knight and demands more information. I'm too shocked to hear the words. Sir Mythos? A witch? Impossible. Nani? I had to do it at least once. What of the other palace intruders? We've managed to apprehend some of them, but we can't get to everyone with that beast taking us out. Damn Mythos. It's still a pain, even after death. What did you do to Sir Mythos? Did you not hear me, girl? He's dead. Killed by my hand. But why? He was helpful at first. We worked together to achieve our own personal goals. He eyes me cautiously. He wanted you, Princess. If Sir Mythos was a witch, that will explain why he still remembered me. Why did he want me? Who knows? It doesn't matter anymore. I gave him my knights to assist him in his search when the witches could not. But in the end, that fool was too power hungry. You never entered into my plans. You would have been safe, Princess, and just stayed put. But now that you're here, you'll come in handy. Alcast turns back to the knight, who immediately bursts into the explanation once more. The beast is moving quickly. We don't know how much longer we can keep it from this room. There's a beast in the palace, and it's Sir Mythos is doing? I am so confused. What about the others? Are they okay? Let me go, Alcaster! You're not going anywhere. Sounds like some of your friends are very persistent. They'll be coming for you. When they get here, I will kill them. You, Princess, are going to be excellent bait. You know, I like this turn of events. Kind of amusing. You. Tell me what all this is. Varg looks unmoved by Alcaster's anger. It is Mythos that summoned the beast, is it not? Then you must know what is happening. You're asking me, of all people? Ha! As if I'll be able to answer any of your questions. You? Oh! Oh snap! I heard that. Did y'all hear that? Run for cover. Varg? Doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Alcaster. I won't have any answers for you. It's getting louder. Oh my god. So Alcaster turns to me, his eyes manic. Whatever this is Mythos' magic or magic belonging to one of your friends, I'm not going to let it live. Could Delora create a beast out of thin air? So Alcaster draws the sword from his sheath and curses under his breath. I squirm, desperate to find some kind of break in my restraints. Varg surprises me, however, reaching down and cutting ropes to bind my arms to the sword that I recognize. You have my sword! I stand up quickly as I can and grab the sword from him. That was too easy. I eye Varg warily as his mouth twists into a smirk. What are you doing? Why are you helping me? Help? All I did was cut some ropes. Besides, I'm curious to see what you do with that toothpick of a sword. He talks like as if he doesn't care at all what happens. Don't think about it too much, Princess. It's probably a little too much for your small head. I swing my sword toward him and Varg catches it with his cane. You really think that I'm the one you should be fighting? Okay, y'all. Get a box of tissues. The door creaks and falls off its hinges. The knights stumble back, and I hear screaming as loud footsteps sounds against the hall's tiles. So what will you do? Run? Hide? Or will the beast kill you too? Oh snap. My eyes focus on the large figure entering the room, though I cannot make out specifics at first. The form grows more distant the further it moves into the room. Distinct, sorry. Whatever this is, I cannot fight it. There's a moment of eerie silence, and then Alcaster yells and the knights rush forward, attacking the beast as a collective. The beast throws them off with surprising nimbleness, his rage in every swipe. I dodge away just before a man's body falls on top of me. Over here, beast! Sir Alcaster rushes at the beast. I finally managed to get a clear line of sight to the king, who is still bound and helpless on the throne. The king! I have to get him out of here! I rush toward the throne, but someone stops me dead in my tracks. Saving the king shouldn't be your priority right now. I grip my teeth and swing my sword at Varg, but he easily darts away from me. I'll be watching my back. It is then I notice the beast slowly making its way toward me. Why would it be after me? I've never stayed and fended off, or... Alcaster catches the beast with the broadside of his sword, and the two are focused once more on each other. I glance urgently at the king, then at the doors. The beast moves again, and I realize that it is once more heading toward me. There's no way I can help the king in all this mess. I need help. I have to find the others. Hopefully Alcaster keeps the beast busy long enough for me to get to them. I turn and bolt through the room, weaving my way through the chaos of knights as I head toward the door. I glance in my shoulder the last time at the king. His eyes are trained in the battle before him. His hands grip the arms of his throne, but there's nothing he can do. I'm so sorry. I'll be back. But for now, I have to find the others. I jump past the carnage in the room, stepping over and around bodies as they appear. Halfway to the door, the beast lunges past Sir Alcaster for a few moments. I think he might be attacking me. Stay back! I hold my sword out in front of me and stand in a defensive position like Claude taught me, but the beast never reaches me. You ruined everything, beast! Alcaster is suddenly in front of me, waving his sword at the beast. I stumble back toward the doors, my heart beating loudly in my chest. I have to get out of here. Here is the tragic ending, the beauty and the sinner. Where did the beast come from? Knights immediately rush toward me. I back as far away as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly and we'll keep you somewhere safe until all this dies down. Sorry. I raise my sword and stand ready when the knights surround me. I order you to stay out of my way. Our apologies, Princess, but we're under orders from the king. Alcaster is not the true king. What did he offer for your loyalty? Wealth? Status? That is none of your concern. One of the knights moves toward me and I react on instinct, swiping at him. You might want to put that down before you hurt yourself, Princess. Do not antagonize me. One knight rushes me and the blade connects with his shoulder. Another approaches me from behind and I hit him with the back of my sword. The third moves too fast for me and I feel his blade cut into my shoulder. I hiss the pain that stings from the wound. I'm bleeding. The next time he swings, I successfully manage to evade him, but then bumps into another knight. I'm surrounded. Just come with us, Princess. We don't want to hurt you. No. I feel one of the knight's hands on my shoulder. I tend to pull away from him, but stop when I hear him scream. The beast stands behind me, eyes narrowed, its mouth gaping wide. A scream escapes my throat. The knights change their focus to attacking the beast, but it easily swipes them away as it advances toward me. It's getting closer. I desperately back up. However, my back soon hits a wall, and with nowhere else to go, I stand in the defensive position that Claude has taught me. I hold out the sword and am used to throw back the beast's shadowed claws to reach out for me. that stance. It talks? Stay away from me! The beast moves toward me again, and I stumble in place, struggling to hold my ground. And I throw his sword, the blade impaling itself into the beast's shoulder and giving me an opening. The beast's wounded arm swings into my reach, and I lash out with my sword, managing to draw blood. Princess. Delora would never create a beast like this. This has to be Sir Mythos' doing. An attacking knight catches the beast's attention. I do not wait. As the beast turns, I raise my sword and manage to slide it deep into the beast's chest. A piercing cry erupts from somewhere deep in its throat, and I stumble back without my sword, which is still stabbed through the creature's heart. The beast collapses to the ground. I stare at it as it raises its hand to its chest. That motion reminds me so much of... Right. It was all an illusion. A glimmer of light catches my eye. I freeze as staring down at the ground. Right there, where the blood is already pooling around the sword in the beast's chest, is a rose-shaped locket. The locket I gave Claude. Why did you... The beast stares up with its glassy eyes, its mouth barely moving. After a few moments, a low rumbling comes from the beast's throat, and I realize it is a grisly, pained chuckle. Afraid of me. I told you. The beast stares at me unblinking, but its eyes are already beginning to haze over. The way it speaks and the locket that it has. I look at the locket again. The blood seeping beneath the surface, and suddenly I realize. If I ever told you the reason, you would hate me, Lucette. More accurately, you would be afraid of me. No. No. No! I kneel down beside the beast. I was wrong. No, no, no! Claude! I clutch the locket to my chest and I kneel over the beast. Claude, no! Please! I lean over to listen to his breathing, but there's nothing but silence. Everything around me goes dark. I killed him. There's a sound of footsteps behind me, but they are mute, unimportant. Claude, I'm so sorry. That, my friends, is the bad ending. The beauty and the sinner. And achievement unlocked is Rose of Thorns. We shall get back to the good ending in a moment, but for now, let's take a little short break, and then we shall see how many of the answers did I actually get right. We'll be back in a little bit. Stay tuned, everybody. Grab yourself a drink, get yourself a box of tissues, whatever you do, and we will play the good ending, because I hate leaving it a bad ending, so stay tuned. Okay, we are back, everybody. So it turns out I actually was pretty close with this one. I just got four incorrect, and one of them was actually due because I actually had the first answer right, but I corrected it later. So, um, the first answer I got correct, which was terrible, isn't it? And I said it's terrible. Secondly, when there was that fight between Rumple and Karma, I studied up for Rumple. That ends being correct. Going outside or remaining inside. Turns out remaining inside was the correct answer. So that was incorrect. That was the first incorrect answer. Um, just say something to her. I can't see why you wouldn't tell her. I can see why you wouldn't tell her. That one I got correct. Picking the pick of cupcakes, the one with the lizard was the correct answer. The chameleon. Teasing Karma was the correct answer, and I had it right at first, but I corrected it to attempting to leap, so second incorrect answer. Fight back or wait for an opening. I think I said wait for an opening, and it turned the correct answer was fight back. Then someone was smiling. First feature I'd look at on their face would be the lips, which was the part I picked. Then the missiles go back quietly, trying to convince them. That was the correct answer. Step away from him for standing too close. Then you have to tell Jurian, I was correct about that one. I'm proud of that. Biting his hand during the self-defense section when he first learns about fighting, that was the correct answer too. Scolding Claude for when he was being so snappy with everybody, that was the correct answer as well. Changing to running the errands first was the correct answer as well. So that was kind of surprising that actually switching that was correct. Where I went incorrect was coming to give him something when it actually was coming to speak with him was the correct answer. That's 4. Turning to put sword to him, that was correct. Wanting to hug was correct as well. Saying thank you was correct. Wanting to talk with him was correct. But the two things that I absolutely got incorrect was the very end, which was promising that I wouldn't fight, that would stay behind him, and not being afraid of him. So that's actually 6 answers I got wrong. So let's go ahead and get this good ending, people. Let's do this. So we'll go through. Ooh, hold on. There we go. Let's continue, and let's go back to chapter 1. Or chapter 3, sorry. With the first decision. Which was... Wait. Did I save incorrectly? I'm gonna have to rewind a little bit. Let's see. How far back does it go? Okay, so I gotta rewind to terrible, isn't it? So, yeah, I picked the wrong answers. That's 7 I got wrong! 7! Wow! I am terrible at this game. I can't go back. So, I have to go and load from the very, very beginning. That's how far back I have to go. So, let's go back to... Because I cut it off at Chevalier Chapter 10. So let's do Let's do Common Route Selection. No, don't overwrite. Don't overwrite. Okay. Okay, Common Route Selection. So I actually was wrong from the very beginning. So that's 7 answers I got terribly wrong. Okay, so Common Route. Chapter 3, Secret Practices. Okay, we get it. So let's go through to the first conversation, which is terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. Oh. What? Most people don't agree with me. It doesn't make sense for a witch to cast a good curse on you. I guess it doesn't, does it? Thank you, Princess Lucette. Why is he thanking me? Still, it feels like I'm missing something. Is that really the entirety of his curse? And don't fall in love with a woman as well, so number 2. Which was Stand Up for Rebel. That was the one I know for sure I got correct. Because I wouldn't really deserve that at all. Stand Up for Rumple. So that one I got correct. So, moving on. Okay. So, during the sword fighting, it was actually remain inside. Just don't be curious. On second thought, maybe that would be dangerous. I turned to see Delora looking at me with amusement blinking in her eyes. Did you come down to visit Mr. Broom or something? I didn't know you two had gotten close. We haven't. It was a joke, Princess. You really don't have a sense of humor, do you? I think it is you who does not have that sense of humor. Snappy as a crocodile, as always. So what are you doing down here? Couldn't sleep? Me too. I heard some sounds. I just wanted to see where they were coming from. Sounds? Are you really spooked by some sound from the forest, or are you just too curious for your own good? Curiosity killed the cat, you know. I did not ask for your opinion, Witch. Well, the both of us could use some fresh air, don't you think? I stared at her in surprise. Come on. I know a place we can go. Delora and I eventually find ourselves in the forest. Those sounds. It sounds like metal against metal. I guess you being partnered with Karma you would find out eventually. Excuse me? I get the answer to my question when we walk through the trees and come to a clearing. I could see obviously where the sounds are coming from. Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to listen to this song again. That's all I want to do. Because I like a training montage. Okay, let's go to the next answer. Sorry. Okay, I can see why you wouldn't tell her. Oh, I did pick the incorrect answer on that one. Never mind. So, insisting the first time was incorrect. So, it was actually insisting later was the correct answer. So that's... Oh, I got almost every single thing wrong! Oh my god! What? Because she's... better than me. No, because if you told her she refused, then it would be difficult afterwards. You understand, Princess? Of course I understand. I'm not that stupid. No, I didn't mean it like that. Don't take offense, Garland. It's just the way she talks. The princess is a fragile flower with her petals always curved inward. What does that even mean? See? If it were drones, you'd probably know, but I'm just as confused as you are. I don't think so. I don't think anyone understands half of the fluff Karma speaks. It's because I weave love and dedication to every single one of my words. There's a beauty in deciphering them. But if idle chatter, sir, let us continue our training. And wow! I feel like I was way off. I thought I had Lucette down, but every time I play this game, I realize how much I don't have her down. So a little bit of a fun fact as well. So one of the writers, Jessica Rose, she actually left the team not too long after this game came out because of massive creative differences according to her Tumblr. So it looks like she is not coming back for Evermore. But I kind of wonder like how much of her concepts are going to be coming into that game. Is my question. And if they even got like a replacement writer for the game. So those are a couple things I'm kind of wondering. There's also, this is actually not Daisuke's first game either. The very first game they actually created was Locked Heart. And if I can find a copy of that, I'll certainly play it on the channel, especially if it's compatible with iOS. If it's not, then you're probably just gonna have to wait until I get a Windows computer. It's that simple. Sorry. So let's go to the next section. So I was right here. I picked the fancy cupcake with the lizard. So, next! And then I did the voice teasing thing. It's just too much fun. So at this part, I believe it's a wait for an opening, but I decided to do so. But this actually correct answer was fight back. I have to fight back. Maybe I can still draw people's attention to me. I try to squirm my way out of the man's arms, but it does not work. He trickles lightly at me until I elbow him in the stomach. Because if I think about like this entire plot, it is all about different methods of fighting back. In this case, it's more about physically fighting back with the fact that Lucette is training to be a physical fighter. So you got to emphasize that a lot more. And even Karma's physical form is the primal physical fight. So there's that. So that's the running theme through this entire story. Is physical defense. For a few moments I'm free to try to run, but all too soon the man grabs me again with the same punishing grip over my mouth and knows to stop me from screaming. You're a real feisty one, aren't you? I feel like I might faint. In one last attempt to get free, I tug at the man's hand with my own and manage to shift it just enough until I can bite down on it. Ow! The man screams in pain, his grip finally loosening. I could hear him curse as I run away from him. A few minutes later, I realized that I'd gone in the wrong direction. I soon came to a dead end, and in the alleyway I could hear the man running up behind me. What is this I see before me? And that's where he jumps in. Okay. Next! I saw you fight back. That was a very admirable attempt. You saw me? Yes, you were coming to the end of the alleyway. But I didn't manage to escape. It doesn't matter, Princess. You certainly made the effort. But I digress. You're quite welcome, Princess. It was my pleasure. Okay. So that's new dialogue right there. So smiling, first feature I would look at the face would be, I said eyes, I think before, because eyes are the window to the soul, but actually the correct answer was the lips. Because physical, so. Despite myself, I found my gaze dropping to Karma's lips. Why do I feel like I'm walking into a trap? The lips? Why, Princess, I didn't think I'd hear you say that you looked at my lips when I smiled. I did not say that. Oh, but you did. And Princess, I do believe you are blushing. Even though Karma never said he was referring to his features, I thought about his lips anyway. The thought made my heart flop, though I do not have the faintest idea why. Anyway, I agree. Though the eyes are important, the smile isn't quite as brilliant without the lips. Without the lips? I try to imagine a smile without lips and shudder. Sorry, Princess, I misspoke. Try to dispel the image from your mind. Anyway, I'll let you choose the order of things. So... okay. Makeup time! And then... secret agent time! I think actually fast forward was the correct... yeah, fast forward was the correct button, not skip. So, try to convince them. Fighting back is useless when I'm outnumbered. I have to try convincing them that I'm not who they think I am. Yeah, skip to the next choice. Yeah, it was fast forward. Sorry about that. Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, forward, forward. Okay. Standing too close, step away from him. So that was correct. So, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, forward, forward. And telling Jurian was correct, so fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, forward, forward. Fighting his hand was correct, so fast forward, forward, forward. Scolding him was correct, so fast forward, forward, forward. Let's look for the errands. Let's run the errands first. The correcting was correct, so fast forward, forward, forward. So, I came to speak with you. This is the part that I was incorrect at. So here we go. Let's get into the drama. I don't spill tea. I drink it. I kinda gave him something, but I also want to speak with him. I haven't seen Claude in a while. Which makes more sense, come to think about it, because she hasn't seen him in weeks. He's been isolated in his room, not talking to anybody, been very irritable. It makes sense that he wanted to say something. So, I need to read books more. Like, I think that'll make it much easier to figure out this stuff. But anyway, I also just talk to people more. Everything's in my head. But anyway, why? Because you've been doing everything by yourself lately? Came to complain? No, I wanted to check up on you. Princess, can you not read the mood? You could have at the very least not. Okay, that part's still the same. So, wait. Did I skip anything different? Okay, throwing the necklace is still a thing. Okay. So, let's see what else. Okay. Pointing my sword at him, that was correct. Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, forward, forward. A hug was correct, so fast forward, forward, forward. My game froze! Okay. Thanking him was correct, too. So, fast forward, forward, forward. Okay. I want to talk to you. That was correct. Next. Promising to stay behind. Here we go. If it will make him feel better before going into this mission, I cannot deny his request. Claude's expression softens as he moves away from me. I'll stay behind you. Thank you, Princess. Let's attempt sleep preparation for tomorrow. When this is all over, I'll pry Claude's secrets out of him. By the end of this episode, we'll get all the secrets out of him. So, let's hurry up and do that! Wait, not fast forward. Whoops. And now, finally, I could never be afraid of you. Let's do this, people! Let's get to our happy ending here. What is there to be afraid of? Claude wears a pained expression as he looks at me. I see him once again grabbing at the collar of his dress, looking like he is in some kind of quiet agony. I know I've been moving around like this, like whoop, 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 but I've been streaming for almost 3 hours, so don't blame me. That's what she said too. Is he talking about that one woman from before? The one who didn't love him? He thinks I'm the same? I'm not like her. Reset. Claude's voice trails with the sound of running. His hand moves quickly to the hilt of his sword just to reach for mine. Okay, let's fast forward a little. There we go. Okay, let's go back a little. Reset. Stay behind me. I promised I would, remember? Let's keep it that way. A smile flashes across his face, and for a few moments I seems more like the Claude that I know. Annette manages to bring Claude nightly up herself. Let's see if there's anything new. So far, nothing's new here. So I still got knocked out. I still get in the chamber. Let's see. Mythos is still killed off. Barg and Lucette doing the thing. Beast still shows up, so he still turns. So now, instead of Beauty and the Sinner, it's now Beauty and the Beast. So this is the proper good ending this time. Where did the Beast come from? Okay, Knights rush toward me. I rock away as far as I can without entering the throne room, so that part is still the same. Okay, here's my question though. How come they don't fast forward through this dialogue? Because it's almost exactly the same as the bad ending. Then again, it would have been too much work to program. But anyway, let's see. Caretaker once at once. Oh, okay, it changed a little. Even knowing that, I still pull out my sword. I take a few steps back and then suddenly feel my back pressed up against something. The beast stands behind me. Its back to me. I stand in its shadow and I realize that if it turned around, it could swat me to the wall just like the rest of its victims. But it's just standing there. Together. Together? The beast says nothing more. Though I still feel on edge, there is something oddly familiar about this. Claude told me once that it was better to fight back to back. I will trust you for now, whatever you are. I do not know if it understands me, but I can hope. It seems more like a human than any kind of animal. Princess, get away from the beast! Whoa! The knight never finishes his sentence as the beast sends him flying through the air. Why is it helping me? The knights fall like dominoes to the beast, but manage to remain standing while I strike them with my sword. Even just taking one down is so hard. These men have been trained for years, while I haven't even had the luxury of a year. Out of the corner of my eye, I sense movement. I see a gleam of silver and hear a grunt as the sword is raised into the air. The sword is nowhere near reaching me, but the beast! I aim a kick at an approaching knight before whirling around to look at the beast. The oncoming sword comes closer to the beast's exposed back, and I know the beast will not be able to dodge in time. Move! I shove past the creature and catch the knight's sword with my own before it can harm the beast. My arms are shaking underneath the strength of the impact between our swords. I feel my arms are going to give out. Then a flash of light appears, so bright that everyone is temporarily blinded. The third good deed! Boom! Everybody knows who she is now, so yeah, you're screwed. Anyway, I stumble back, rubbing my eyes. From the sounds of it, the beast is continuing to drive back the knights, most of them shouting to each other to retreat. What was that? When I finally am able to see again, my eyes automatically land on my feet. I stare in shock. Glass slippers? I quickly reach up to my pendant and realize that it's no longer there. I completed my 3 good deeds? You said it knows my name? I look around and realize that the beast and I are alone, the knights having fled. Did the beast drive off the rest of them? I feel pressure at my back and realize that the beast is touching me. My first instinct is to run, but the words it utters next paralyze me. You okay? Every word sounds breathless and pained, like it takes too much to speak. It is worried about me? I watch in shock as the beast appears to gesture toward my shoes. You did it. I step back warily. What are you? The beast reaches out and I see something glittering in the palm of its hand. The rose locket! For a few moments, my heart plummets into my stomach and my hands begin to quiver. What did you do to Claude? The beast's shadow fingers curl over the locket even if he stares at me. Gave me. I can't look at Claude. The beast only stares at me for a few moments longer, and then suddenly I realize these words, nothing more than a pained growl, do not hold any malice. I gave that locket to you? The beast slowly nods. My grasp on my sword loosens and I stare at him in shock, realization dawning upon me. Claude? Yes. So this is your secret? Why would you not tell me? I could have hurt you. Claude is another form, a cursed form, and he never told me. Why? As my mind whirls, I feel everything coming together like the pieces of a puzzle. Secrets are secrets for a reason, Princess. You should know that. If I could speak on them, I would, but I can't. You said, I wish I could explain. You would hate me, or more accurately, you would be afraid of me. All those times the club was clutching at his chest, you were touching your tattoo so many times before like you were in pain. The beast growls, and the sound is surprisingly soft, almost a sigh. Curse. But the tattoo was a warning. The first time I saw the tattoo, it was a beautiful rose. The second time, it had more thorns. When the rose became ensnared in thorns, did he transform? And he always touched his tattoo when he came too close to me. Claude, your curse did not just make others fall in love with you. It stopped you from loving anyone else too, didn't it? He mentioned that woman before, the one who he thought loved him but didn't. Is it possible that you saw him in this form and was terrified of him? If you loved anyone, you would turn into a beast. You loved a woman once, but she only loved you because of your curse. The moment you transformed, she was scared of you, wasn't she? Yes. You sound so pained. The reason Claude has been trying to hide everything from me is because he's scared that I would have feared him. This is why beauty's always been so important to him. But the curse cast upon him makes him both beautiful and a beast. I wanted you to love me, but no one could love a beast. His words are dwindling. It almost sounds like he's being suffocated on the inside with how slowly he's speaking. Claude, I've never cared much about appearances. People have worn masks on their faces their whole life around me. Claude, I take a deep breath and face him. I will love you, no matter what form you take. Dang! This should be our wedding vows or something. God! End the show right there. Thank you very much. May your heart be your guiding key. No. We gotta say the true good ending. Come on. Okay. I drop my sword to the ground and make my way over to him. I rest my cheek on his chest and wrap my arms around him. I love you. The room is filled with a bright but gentle light. It almost feels like I'm bathing in sunlight. For a few moments, I forget my worries. Everything feels blissful and quiet. My heart feels full. And moments later, I feel warm arms around my waist. I love you too, Lucette. And I open my eyes. I still can't see anything, even though I know that the light has faded. My warmth is still there too, but now I feel it immediately on my skin, and I realize that it was because Claude is hugging me. Not as a beast, but as a man. Did I break his curse? I realize this is the first time Claude has ever touched me for a long period of time without abruptly moving away. Tentatively, I move my hands, feeling the fabric of his shirt and the warmth of the pure underneath it. Claude! Before I finish my sentence, the lips are sealed. I feel Claude's lips on mine, only briefly. That is enough to make me suddenly feel faint. So here's my question. If this had to get married, how are the keys being distributed? That's what I'm wondering. He pulls away from me with a brilliant smile. I've always wanted to do that. Sorry. Lucette, you're blushing. If I could, I would kiss you again. But we have some urgent things to attend to. The reality of the situation begins to seep back into me. Yeah, we got a king to save. My father, Varg, Alcaster, they're all still in the throne room. The king! Let's go, Lucette. When Claude and I rush to the throne room, my attention is immediately grabbed by the king calling my name. Lucette! He's still bound to the throne, though. His gag is removed. A rush of relief floods through me. He's alive. He is alive, and he remembers me. My gaze is drawn to the two men battling at the base of the throne. Their swords are locked together in a stalemate. Alcaster and... Fritz? Oh! What has happened here? This is not how you gain power. I knew you would be a thorn in my side from the moment I concocted this plan. Where is Varg? The only one here is me. I will... Fritz's concentration substance his eyes land on me. The opening is small, but it's enough to give Outcaster the opportunity he needs. Watch out! Claude is already running over to help, but even he is too slow. No! Dang! So no matter what it is, like from this letter chapters onwards, somebody dies. That is ridiculous. So like during Chevalier's ending, it was Parfait that dies. This time it's Fritz that dies. I am so mad right now. Oh my god. No. I have to read it. Alcaster disarms Fritz before driving his sword through Fritz's chest. Sorry, but warning. No. Alcaster pulls the sword out of Fritz's chest just fast enough to deflect Claude's attack. As Claude drives Alcaster away from the throne, I rush to where Fritz is collapsed on the ground. His eyes are already glowing glassy. Fritz! I lean over him. There's so much blood. I glare at Alcaster. How could you do this to your own son? Anyone in my way would meet my sword. Blood does not matter. Princess. I turn back to Fritz in alarm, tears in my eyes. Fritz, hold on. Don't speak. You need to conserve your energy. Princess, I'm sorry. Fritz, please don't speak. I feel bitter tears stinging my eyes. I'm sorry. I watch as the light seeps through Fritz's eyes. I pull my hand to his chest to feel for a heartbeat, but Fritz's body is still. Fritz! I glance up at the sound to see Claude at the far side of the room, struggling to get to his feet. Lucette, watch out! I turn, but I'm not fast enough. I see Alcaster's sword raised high in the air. I know it will reach me before I can pick up my sword. The sword falls from Alcaster's hand as a bright red ribbon of light twines around the hilt and drives it far from reach. I turn and see Delora standing a short distance away. Jurian, Garland, and Waltz all standing behind her. I'm afraid your performance as a king has been incredibly disappointing. Jurian and Garland move together, rushing Alcaster from the same side. I see Claude moving in from the other side, quiet and lethal. Princess! Waltz and Delora rushed over to me as the fight continues. Alcaster has reclaimed his sword and is trying to evade attacks from 3 different swords at once. The king! Waltz nods at me. His gaze lingering on Fritz's expression becomes solemn. He walks up to the throne while Delora kneels beside me. Delora shakes her head. That's all I need to know, that there's nothing more to be done. We will make sure he's properly honored, but for now we need to get you out of here. What about Ophelia? Waiting for us somewhere safe. I'm constructing a shield around her that will keep her hidden from view and harm until we return with her. Well, aren't we meant to bring the royal family back to the Marchen first? Now we're missing the king. Besides, plans change when a magical beast starts rampaging in the castle. Princess! I turn to look at Alcaster, who is still somehow managing to scream my name, despite the fact that he's being quickly overwhelmed. Princess, we could have worked together. If you were more like your mother, you could have ruled with grace, beauty, and fear. I flinch back as Delora's hands cover the rest of my forearms, her grip steady. That is enough. I look up and see that the king has stopped to stand beside me. To my surprise, the king rests a gentle hand on my shoulder. His eyes soft as he looks at me. Lucette, we have a lot to talk about. But right now, I have something I must do. Oh, snap! The king is in the house today! Allah mutely as watches the king draws his sword. He makes his way to Alcaster. Jurian, Garland, and Claude step back from where they had forced Alcaster to point me. You are a traitor lacking any honor, Alcaster. You are the one who lacked honor. A ruler must have the people beneath his thumb. A ruler must lead people, not suffocate them. His oath as king is to protect them. You are no king, Yellowcaster. For your crimes, I find you guilty and incapable of rehabilitation. Sentence for the severity of your crimes is death. The king raises his sword, and I turn away before he strikes down his sword. There is no sound or scream to follow. I turn once more to see that the king has pointed the sword at Yellowcaster's chest, but has not killed him. You will stay in the prisons until the time for your trial comes. Though you might try to refute these claims, you will be tried as a traitor to this kingdom. And then you will be executed. Yellowcaster's shoulders fall. The glare never leaves his face, not even when guards seize him and drag him from the room. The king immediately sends Jurian and Garland out to deal with any knights that are still part of the coup. Delora and Claude help with moving his body, while Waltz tries his best to fill the king in with the most basic points for a successful operation. Everything has died down a little bit over the last hour, but I still feel overwhelmed. I glance at the Waltz and the king, who are still speaking. Every time the king sees me looking at him, he flashes at me an uncertain smile before glancing away. I know he wants to speak with me, but I will talk to him after I can get Prince's body out of my mind. It was my fault when he died, wasn't it? He saw me and stumbled. Hey, Princess, what are you doing here? Here, I thought you'd changed, but you still got some feistiness in you, don't you? Many years ago, when the war ended, we were all faced with a feeling just like this, Princess. We've lost so much, and the future seems so grim. But now it's different. You have a future. You broke your curse, Princess. That gives you some kind of hope. In addition, you broke Karma's. Memories of Claude's arms around me, his lips on mine, come flying back to my foggy mind. My heart still feels tight, but it is a little lighter when I think about him. I wish he was here right now. How did I break Claude's curse? Claude, I don't think I'll ever get used to his real name. Seems like he hasn't told you yet. Guess it's been pretty hectic. So Claude turned to a beast because he loved me? Well, I guess I could give you the laydown of his curse. Stop! Desist! Dolores not even started to speak when Claude runs into the room, gasping as he's been running through the halls. Curse? Are you speaking about my curse? There was no way you heard us talking in the hallway. Is there? Even I feel at a loss for words right now. I sensed you might be talking about me. The princess was just asking me about your curse. Oh, then I was right to come running. And here I was, just guessing at what you might be talking about. Claude's curse was based off the tale of Beauty and the Beast. Claude easily finishes her sentence. Laura holds up her hands as if in surrender. So eager to steal the spotlight. Classic Leonine behavior right there, come on. Well, you are talking about me after all, and I'm going to keep reading because this part is important. You always told me that your curse was just the beauty's curse, though. Well, yes, because the other half was a little difficult to explain, wasn't it? He has a point, though I think he might have been able to save us all some trouble if he hadn't been so secretive about his curse. He really must have been scared that I would shun him. Allow me to explain, Princess. In the fairy tale, a prince of a kingdom is transformed into a beast because his heart is as cold as ice. Sounds familiar to a certain icy princess, eh? Just trying to lighten the mood. Claude sighs. If I called this at something far more flattering, like my sweet, beloved, we were talking about your curse. Oh, right. Well, anyway, the witch who cursed the prince in the tale tells him that he has to learn to love and be loved before the petals of a rose completely fall off. A rose? Yes. She gives him a rose and he keeps it protected under glass. Some time passes and the rose continues to wither away. A maiden finds the beast and eventually the two fall in love. At the end of the tale, she confesses her love to the beast and he transforms back into a human. By confessing I saved you? But his curse was different from the tale. I know what you're thinking, that my curse is somewhat different. It was more complicated. The witch made it so that I was both beauty and the beast. She did it to me because I was so vain. The witch constructed a very roundabout curse. Any woman who falls for me falls in love with me as the beauty. And when I transform into the beast, the enchantment would break and they would become terrified of me. I doubt Claude would ever thought he would break his curse. The love women felt for him when he was cursed was always fake. How could that kind of love hold strong when he turned into a beast if it was never true to begin with? Then you came along, princess. I thought you just keep out giving up hope and was waiting for you to spell your curse on your birthday, but now here you both are. But the ice princess, in love, what a miracle. Why don't you just give her the Snow Queen curse while you're at it? Like, the Snow Queen phenomenon would be pretty interesting. Because, like, the Snow Queen there, it's like, you got an little icy-hearted queen right there. You didn't know love until two siblings came in to save him. Then, oh man, that would have been an interesting alternate story. Daisuke, hire me. Make an alternate story where Lucette gets the Snow Queen curse, and then Rod and Emmeline have to save her as siblings. Now that would have been an awesome story. People, don't at me, y'all. But message me, Daisuke. I can give you some good ideas. Anyway, but the Ice Princess, in love, what a miracle. I turn away, embarrassed. It is not a miracle. I am very glad I met you, Lucette. Lady Dolores' words are the truth. I had just about given up hope. I never had any hopes of breaking my curse. I thought the only way to fix it would have you dispel it on your birthday. But then I came to know you, and we fell in love. A fairy tale indeed. You started off frowning at everyone and everything. You've come a long way, princess. Congratulations. You turned out to be a pretty okay princess. And you turned out to be a pretty okay witch. Gasp! Do I ears deceive me? A compliment from our little witch? You look so surprised, but you'll be the new bearer of our crystal real soon, princess. I expect good things from you. Right, I almost forgot about that part. I'll try my best. Yeah, another miraculous proclamation of the Little Witch. Will the surprises never cease? Before I could snap at Delora again, the King Uncle Lee interjects, coming to stand next to us with Waltz by his side. Pardon the intrusion. Oh, not at all, Your Majesty. Waltz told me that you were cursed. That's why I forgot all about you. Yes. Even if it was by a curse, I feel terrible such a thing could have ever happened. So I will make it up to you. We can catch up from where we were many, many years ago. And maybe things can be different. I'm sorry. What for? For being the way that I was before. For shunning Ophelia and her children. Oh. Ophelia, did they bring her back to the margin? Ophelia's still here. After the fight was over, she was shown back to her room. She's still waiting for Rod and Emmeline to return. Now, would you maybe be willing to tell me the story from the beginning? Perhaps they can fill in the gaps, Your Majesty. Claude? The king looks startled when he stares at Claude. He blinks as if just noticed his presence. As if he has just noticed his presence. Sorry. Grammar. Oh, and you are? Claude elegantly bows before the king. I'm Prince Claude of Bugantia. A pleasure to finally meet you, Your Majesty. The Lost Prince? The king turns to me with a puzzled look. It's a long story. Claude surprises me, wrapping an arm around my shoulders and pulled me closer to him. Everyone looks shocked except for Delora, who looks like she is trying not to laugh. As the princess's lover, I feel it my obligation to help her explain this whole mess. Karma! Karma, Lucette! That is such a bad pun. But anyway. I feel my place getting harder at Claude's sudden public ovation. All their eyes are now on me, and I suddenly feel like hiding myself. Only Claude would publicly say such a thing. I'd drink to that, though. The game looks more shocked than anything. Why did this happen? Well, Your Majesty, I think we'd better start at the beginning. We were able to tell the king everything, save for where Varg had disappeared to. No one was sure where he had gone in all the chaos. The night's searches for him all ended in failure. A lot of explaining had to be done, not just to the king, but also to the people at his tavern. As soon as everything has calmed down, Rod and Emmeline finally went back to the palace. I apologized to them as best I could, and they all seemed willing to try again with me. And I'm willing to try again too. As for Claude... So you're going back. Are you sure you don't want to come to Brigantia with me, just for a short holiday? I would love nothing more than to introduce you to my family. Mother would shower you with gifts. Father would, well, tease you probably. He makes jokes frequently, and Mama? What did you say? Llama? He has a pet llama? My brother, Llama. What? I knew it! Another acronym. We're comma and llama. Does your father do these things on purpose? I told you he likes jokes. My brother's real name is Lance. I was going to bring you back to introduce the two of you. And you can tell my brother how very charming I am. Is it just my imagination? Or was there a quiver of competition in his eyes? As much as I'd like to meet your family, you have your own obligations here. And you need to let your family know that you're safe and alive. The thought of being separated from you? A loud sigh before he reaches down and plants a kiss on my forehead. I'll miss you. You won't be gone for that long. Love, that's not how you're supposed to respond. You're supposed to say, my sweet prince, I'll miss you too. Fine then. I'll miss you too. Maybe. That is very Leia-ish. I'm sorry. It's like a Princess Leia line. Okay, I'm overriding that. I'm saving that. Claude raises an eyebrow at me, then smiles. I'll be back for your birthday. I love you, he said. It's only been a few weeks since Claude left, but I'm impatient. The king has been throwing grand dinners every night in preparation for my birthday, but I can hardly concentrate on anyone else when I'm thinking of Claude. I told him about all the other small birthday celebrations. I thought he would be here for them. My birthday's in a few days. Hopefully he'll be back. I've tried to make myself busy, mainly by continuing the sword practices of Jurian and Garland, but both were joining the Order of Chaldera. Every time around the nights I think of Fritz. I shall bring some new flowers tomorrow. Claude would just return already. We could pay our respects together. Hello, Lucette, my love, my sunshine, my beautiful betrothed. Beautiful betrothed? They're engaged already? God. I shake my head and gather my thoughts. First of all, we did not knock. Second, we are not engaged. That's what I thought. Also, I'm only noticing this now, but are these dolls in the back like princess references? Because I feel like I'm getting like Beauty and the Beast, Princess and the Frog, Cinderella, possibly Aurora, like Sleeping Beauty vibes. Like a lot of these things are showing up. Like that's what I think immediately. It's like a subtle hint right there. Anyway, it may as well be, don't you think? At the very least, not before you come in. Still worried I would come in on you in the middle of changing? Would you have minded so terribly? Yes! It's worth saying those things just to see you blush. But why are you even here? Survival was so sudden, I just had absolutely no time to prepare. Claude sighs dramatically. You didn't want me back here? No, I mean, you did not even write to say you'd be back today. I wasn't expecting you. I did say I would be back for your birthday. I'm a man of my word. Should I have stayed up longer? No, of course not. I grumble as Claude walks over to my bed, grinning. He sits down on the bed next to me and wraps an arm around my waist to pull me closer. I sigh out and lean my head on his shoulder. It's a startling contrast to what he used to be before. If I touched him, he would flinch and turn away from me. Now, he's always right next to me. Claude's whole body seems to relax when I tentatively wrap my arms around him and hug him back. I knew I would miss you, but it really was terrible being away from you. But you enjoyed the time with your family. I did. My brother was very frustrated that I spoke about you almost every hour of the day. He had better show up in Evermore. I want to see him. How could you have that much to say about me? Oh? I thought I didn't have enough time to list off all of your virtues. I nudge him in the arm, but he just grins at me. A glint from Claude's pocket catches my eye, and I flush proudly when he knows the rose locket. Looking at the locket makes me think back to that night when we transformed back into a prince. Lost in thought, are we? I was just noticing the locket. You still carry it around with you. Of course I do. It has become my most valuable possession. He puts the little locket down and pops it open. I'm startled when I see the small sheet of paper with my own words on it. My message to him was still there. Claude smiles as he reads the words aloud. A normal rose would have withered, so I offer this one instead. A heartfelt thanks. I see nothing when he turns to look at me. Oh, your cheeks are red again. Your embarrassment is adorable, darling. I am not embarrassed. I just need to keep the words in there so that they wouldn't ever mean so much to him. Or that they would ever mean so much to him. Yes, of course. You just have exceptionally rosy cheeks. Mm-hmm. He pauses as he closes the locket again and looks at it fondly. I love this locket because it is the first gift that you gave me. He was holding the locket as the beast too. It was half the reason I recognized him. I jump as Claude gently taps my husband's finger. This locket isn't going anywhere anytime soon, I can assure you. I smile as he winks at me. Anyway, allow me to pull you back into the present. As I promised you no more secrets, let me tell you something. Oh? Claude looks away from me, his eyebrows furrowing, and I frown. I hope it is nothing serious. I'm so nervous about sitting down with your father. Sitting down to dinner with your father tonight. You're nervous? I start laughing at that meaning too. Oh my god, that is classic. Oh my god. Anyway, you're laughing at my pain, princess? He pulls me closer and kisses the top of my head. But you are too flamboyant to be nervous. I agree. He's too flamboyant. I love it. I'm confident, princess. Not flamboyant. There's a difference. Right. Claude's expression grows more solemn. He looks at me seriously. Almost sadly. He said, I'm so sorry about lying to you. That whole time I made myself up to be someone beautiful. Someone wasn't. I believed I was truly a good person on the inside, and that I deserved good things even though I was selfish. He's already apologized to me before. Too many times. Claude, you do not have to apologize. No. That witch was right to curse me. I've always had everything handed to me on a silver platter. When I claimed to NGL, I believed that I wasn't going to be helped break this curse. It wasn't important. And then I met you. At first, I would just have to get the good side so you could help me dispel my curse. Then, who's that? Excuse me. It's 10 p.m., by the way. But then, Lucette, I realized I was drawn to your confidence and commitment. But I could never admit that I was in love with you. I was so scared that if I transformed into a beast and you were scared of me, I would lose my chance at winning your heart. So you see, Princess, I was selfish. I wanted all of you without having to give you all of me. I looked down where our hands are entwined, and I gripped his fingers tighter. I told you enough times now that you have nothing to apologize for. But you insist on apologizing. Maybe you ought to do something to make it up to me. Those words are out of my lips before I can even think them. I stopped sobbing, trying to ignore the hot flush in my cheeks. Claude looks at me, puzzled, and for a few moments I feel triumphant that I have caught him off guard. Then the puzzled look fades, and Claude just grins at me. Oh my, so forward. Forward? I opened my mouth to apologize to somebody grabbed my hands and tugged me down to the bed. The instincts Claude taught me in my sword fight had quickly overwhelmed by surprise, and in no time at all he has pinned down to the bed and is leaning just above me, smiling. I'm disappointed. Princess, you knew my weakness and you didn't even exploit it there. Your weakness? Yes. He leans closer to me and I know it's almost touch. My weakness is you, Lucette. Okay, book back again now. Okay, good night, everybody. No, I'm finishing it. I gotta finish it. Okay. He leans down and our lips finally meet. I relax into contact, my earlier tension melting away and warmth flows through me. He pulls away and smiles at me. See? I let my guard down in front of you. I let my guard down in front of him too. And only him. The whole time all I wanted to do was be able to touch him like this. His fingers move gently up my arm and he leans down and kisses me again. Classic! The sound of knocking startles us both. A muffled voice comes to the door. Princess, the king is requesting your presence down in the dining hall. He says that your friends have arrived. Princess? I hear the doorknob begin to turn and quickly speak. Yes, I'll be there in a minute. I will let him know, Princess. First the curse and now this. It is as if the world is conspiring against us. He kisses me once more on the forehead before slowly sitting up and running a hand through his hair. I catch the mischievous look on his eyes as I smooth down my own ruffled hair. Don't worry, Lucette. We'll just finish this later. Oh my god! I said my cheeks flush. You say uncouth things! Claude chuckles before he stands up and offers his hand. I take it and smile up at him. I love you, Lucette. And now I get to say it as many times as I like. I love you too, Claude. I stand on my toes to put a quick kiss on his lips before heading to the door. Let's go, Claude. And with that, we got a happy ending of Cinderella Phenomenon once again. I give thanks to all the creators of this game. This was so much fun. I am so excited. I'm so happy. So, we only have 2 routes left, which is Fritz's route and Waltz's route. Waltz is the very last one because he is the most closely connected to Hildur, Lucette's mother. So he would have the most knowledge. Fritz, however, I think my theory is that he's Varg. let's increase the volume a little bit of this final theme, because I like it. And thank you, Ren P. But yeah, how are you guys enjoying it so far? I also got like another route for the Lady's Choice that I want to do, so I'm gonna finish that pretty soon. I also have a couple of other visual novels that I have on Steam that I'd like to do, which are, excuse me, I Love You, Colonel Sanders. Which, fun fact, the author of different kinds of love on Webtoon is also the artist for this for that visual novel. And then there was that. It was like Your Dry Delight. That's another one. It's like a 1920s visual novel. Like 20s visual novel. It's really cool. But yeah. And thank you to all those Kickstarter people for Kickstarter backers for helping out to make this game possible. Because I absolutely love this. And of course, I am excited for Daisuke's release of Evermore. So until next time, guys, thank you so much. And of course, may your heart be your guiding key. Especially when it comes to love. Whether you are single or involved, or still navigating spaces in between. An achievement unlocked, Rose in full bloom. Alright guys, thank you so much. I've been streaming for about a little over 3 hours. My voice is still pretty good, surprisingly. So yeah, thank you so much for celebrating this channel's 6th birthday. Yeah, hard to believe it's been 6 years of streaming and much passion and love to you all. I'm excited to do more stuff with you. 27 and a half years. It's just hard to believe. But yeah, thank you. If you're celebrating a birthday or half birthday today, happy birthday to you. But yeah, check out my social media. I've got a lot of stuff. You can donate towards the channel. I just don't feel big enough to do Patreon just yet. I do have like a Patreon page in progress, but I just haven't had the courage to really make it fully realized. I don't think I'm really like big enough to really have the advantage of a platform like Patreon. But maybe sometime down the line I might do it. But coffee in the meantime is a really good minor investment. It's just $3 a cup essentially. You have to buy like a very simple cup of coffee from like a campus coffee shop or something. But anyway, thank you so much. I love you all. Thank you for helping celebrate my channel and my channel's birthday and my half birthday as well. Mwah. And of course, may your heart, your mind, body, soul, and most importantly, your heart be your guiding. Until next time, everybody. I'll see you later.